Oh, they're loving it.
One more round to tie things up, and even with that broken purchase previously, Loud able to maintain rifles here.
Feels almost ridiculous that they can get a buyout, right? It just felt so out of kilter.
Texture catching a stray there.
It's the first time we're starting to see Gen G re-explore a little, already show something towards B. It's not a great deal yet, but the pace feels different already. So Loud knows something has changed. It's just what's changed.
See the pings here. They're also going to hear QCK fall back from B main here. You can see Gen G stacking up behind this, leaving Meteor the solo lurk. So QCK will be called upon here.
This is a lot to handle. And he takes the scalp of one. Caron gone. He's going to fall back safely. Probably the right choice here, but they did lose less on the other side of the map, so almost trade out here, right? You've got less gone, Caron gone, but now where do they go? Gen G have a little bit of the run of the map here. They can try and pull those rotations. And a lot of faith being left in QCK because they're going back towards A.
Yeah, Loud with a decent read on this, on the back of that information from Karanzin's Owl drone, but are they expecting everybody? Yeah, it's a very late hit here too. He's throwing up another wall, but the null command will be the catalyst here.
30 seconds left.
Gen G going to try and brute force their way on here. Texture to lead the charge.
Karanzin's so blind. Again, these side takes between Larkia's flash, between the flash coming out from Munchkin. It is just gorgeous to witness. So well crafted that even in those final seconds of the round, when it was late, it still looks comfortable. This asks a lot of QCK. He started well. He's going to have to end even better. Third. Oh, yes. Oh, my word.
He was almost on for the adjustment there.
Yeah, I thought he might have that, but Meteor there, safe pair of hands, and Gen G looking like the real deal here, Mike.
I mean, able to overcome Loud in a situation where, like I said, they actually timed that perfectly with the Owl drone. Only spotting Meteor, but not over-rotating. This is something that I get noted, especially in the Secret matchup regionally. Gen G really struggled with some of these later round hits where, you know, they don't win out on the initial plan. The perfect example here of something maybe they've cleaned up in the downtime.
They're happy with it. QCK trying to get in their faces, though. Oh, dear. You feel a bit silly now, don't you?
The awareness, obviously the knife has pinged him, so diligent by Gen G, but Meteor, a very deep position already. All the way up to Boiler here.
Stop dipping. Not what you wanted
dry,
there.
though.
Yeah, no support, no flash, nothing. And there's Meteor striking as well. They've just found layers to this. They found availability, right? They're starting to really turn the screws. Sight still, oh my word. A little bit of damage, yes, don't get me wrong. It is a 1v3, but you look at the HP. Look at what Les is working with. Oh, he's barely breathing. Gonna wheeze his way out of this round, probably. Texture, though, he fancies his chances. Deeper angle, tricky to clear. Diligent from Les. Doesn't matter, though, does it? Gen G tipping the scales now into their hands. 5 now to the good. And Loud haven't had an answer. And I love seeing this kind of little bit of a look back towards, you know, testing middle a little bit here. Didn't do it instantly after learning of that space that Meteor garnered way earlier in this game. And now starting to flex into it into round 9, starting to really punish the stack that they've had to put towards A, but still not able to break Gen G's approach.
And just coming back to what we did see regionally, it was on the attacking side where Gen G looked a little lost for, you know, any sort of mid-round ideas, how to really pivot out of tricky situations here. I'm not even really seeing what their win condition was, which was Munchkin kind of dominating late rounds on solo efforts, Texture doing the same thing in the early round. A little bit concerning here that Gen G have relatively easily taken total control for the first half of Icebox here. It's only 1 round separating them though.
Deep flash, trying to work off the back of it. Texture
quarter, yeah.
Yeah, a little unfortunate, and we've seen that position do well. Yeah, Loud still seem to have such a good read on this B take. But anywhere else, if they go away, they're screwed. Yeah, Loud just with a quick reminder of who they are here. The Munchkin, rough position. Does at least have time on his side, but he's got a lot of targets to handle. Goes up, lovely adjustment, but now there's problems. 9 HP in a bit of a dream, and that is not where you wanted it to go. Still got to do more here. Pressure, up close and personal. QCK going to close out the round with a defuse coming in from 2Es, but again, Loud's problems weren't on B. It was that A take that we saw Gen.G running against them that worked.
It's similar to before, where we see them obviously concede this space. They're happy to have somebody watching the backside of this Viper wall, but they anticipate all of this aggression all the way towards Snowman. Less actually the one to shut it down, seal the deal on that control. But Gen.G already built up a bit of a bankroll with that string of rounds. Comfortable in the purchase. Just about getting back towards some of these key ultimates coming online. On the side of Loud, Kawanzin and 2Es, who have theirs available. Operator back in the hands of QCK as well. Curious what he can get done now.
Okay, well, it's been noted early, and it's a 3-2 split for now, right? So they're going to try and keep touch on both sides of the map. But Sadak, are you ready for this? Absolutely not. Karon was holding this. We've seen a couple of rounds of them holding deep like this. It got checked on maybe once, but it's not every round. So a little bit of variety, catching Loud out once again, opening up that opportunity towards A. QCK, you look at the backfield this, the timing is everything, though. He's got support, 2-3 players all looking towards middle. This is massive! And a great shot from him. He needs to play this out! He needed more than that, but luckily for him, there was support, but Karon again still there. Still getting the favorable trade, still getting the spike back to hand, and it's just less now. They have no idea where he is fully, right? They're gonna lose track of that, but with 50 seconds, what does less do?
I'm curious now of whether or not he's even caught a step. Knows that obviously the turret was removed previously. Whether or not they have a read on where Meteor's utility is going to be, I guess, by default. We'll be here to hear the plant at least.
He's guessed correctly. But it's just... Oh, my word! Oh, Karon! This guy is impressing me. You got Texture kind of the headliner, right? The guy towards the top of it, yeah, absolutely ripping open some of these rounds, but Karon mechanically looking sharp to close. So again, very impressed with Gen.G here. Very impressed.
And I'm curious if this is kind of something that Loud want to drill with Sadak to be the one to force the issue all the way out of B. Whether or not it's just that the turret's there, they anticipate that the heavier lean for Gen.G is outside A here, and Sadak's going to maybe have a 1v1. Or maybe somebody lurking up towards spawn ramp. But shut down so quickly that it gives Gen.G so many options, with the Killjoy falling first.
Just checking if anyone's getting up close. Not going to be rewarded for that, but again, kind of Gen.G slipping into more of a default, right? Maybe expecting that Loud to be going exploring, which they've been rewarded by in the last couple of rounds. That mid presence, that lurk up B. They've truly got that kind of I'd say understanding of the tempo that Loud wants to do.
Almost trying to bait it out here with Lakia posturing a little bit with the Odin, but Loud not biting. Obviously less down on a stinger, so whether or not you see any sort of aggression here or wait to maybe retrieve a weapon off a trade or something like that. The knife going to give things away. Up on 45 seconds left here for Gen.G, but their sights set towards A.
4-play stack. High flash goes in.
Command's going to come out here.
Yep. That's going to be ready to go. So again, we were crediting and complimenting these late round hits. Loud have numbers, but do they have the ability to stop the roll from Gen.G? Already, sight is theirs. It's so comprehensive from Gen.G.
Yeah,
Viper's Pit 2, what are you going to do against this?
So many tools there. Hang on, Karon just got wallbanged. The pit's down.
Oh my
Lockdown's going to expire here, and actually the reaggress here on 2Es and Kawanzin's ultimate.
Texture, hold on, still in a good position. Oh, the drive fight from Sadak, ridiculous. This is how Loud
gave them the lockdown.
This. Okay, and there it is. Gen.G forced to respect it, have to drift away. Still trying to keep eyes towards the spike. Where is this? Great shot towards 2Es. Wants the fob, gets the fob.
He got detained.
Oh no, he just jumped a touch forward. Munchkin now, forced to go in here. Has to hold it together. He can't do it. Loud fighting back in the last round of the first half. Barely closing this up.
What a ridiculous back and forth for the final round of this half. So many ultimates in play. The pendulum really swinging. And such a crucial kill to shut down the Viper's Pit. That's the stranglehold that Gen.G had, Lauren. And that drive-by is ridiculous from Sadak.
It just felt inhuman. You know, Loud will give you a couple of those, I think, but I think credit where it's due. That 5-round run that Gen.G went on was masterful, outstanding. Let's see what the desk thinks of this.
Oh, I'm so happy Icebox is back. What a start that was, in a great half of Valorant. But it's time to jump into our HyperX Reflex of moment of the day. And this one goes to Texture.
Yeah, exactly. I think that this is probably the moment where we see Gen.G back into the game after Loud gets all those rounds. And it's Texture getting all these kills and doing so in a couple of rounds in a row, actually being that determining piece into, hey guys, I cannot go alone. I need you to follow right after me because they're very well positioned. But if we overwhelm them, we can make it through.
Texture and Karon, both these players who were great in Pacific, showed up here in the first half. But I think what made it for Gen.G was that flash combo and how they built those execs. The KO Gecko combo, especially when going A, was excellent, and Loud was always forced to play into retake. But towards the end of that first half, Loud's retakes really started to step things up. In particular, some of these rounds where they're kind of intentionally playing back, waiting till they hear that flash combo, and then instantly swinging forward to flood. It was really great adaptation by Loud to bring a half 6-6 that really seemed like it was going to be dominant for Gen.G.
Yeah, exactly. And now thinking about the switch, like how is this going to look from the defense? I want to see Texture just jumping up on them. I want to find that balance that I've seen from them in many other maps, just knowing when to aggress and knowing when to give the space. I feel like there was a bit of overheating coming from Loud in some of these rounds, just because they wanted to show they're the better team, they have the upper hand, and I think that calming things down probably gave Gen.G some advantage here.
Yeah, Loud on this attack side, when they're playing the Harbor Viper, they're really good at kind of playing the mid round a little bit, using the cascades to take extremities, and then having these powerful late round sight hits. But again, this is going to be about the retakes. The Gecko KO comp is really strong at that. Gen.G honestly should be favored here.
Yeah, I don't know about you guys. I smell a little upset coming up. But let's jump into back into the second half and see if we are indeed going to get an upset.
Yeah, Sue, I completely agree. Smooth on that one.
It stinks in here. It stinks.
You can smell it. The upset is in the air. 6-6. There is something in this game that we can't ignore. Gen.G coming out looking good, backing up the words that they were happy to bring out that, hey, we weren't here when Gen.G, you know, when Loud were winning champion. None of that. So it's like, okay, we'll see. We'll see if it's actually there, if it's all just a little bit of hype talk. But for now, quick pace coming out from Loud. Making no secrets of this, but Texture, Lakia, they're all there, and they are all winning out these fights, leaving just Quarantine and Texture. He's going in!
A smile on his face as well.
Love to see it. This guy is getting fired up.
And this is a pistol round that's almost designed to take control back, get themselves back in control of the tempo after that first half, but Loud absolutely shut out of B site. Bodies in place here from Gen.G. A good boost for them as well to try and carry this across into the second half.
Oh, that's huge. All the things that can go right have been, but this is quite audacious. Loud could punish this. Oh, or not! Or not! Apparently Munchkin just gets away with murder. Eventually goes down to less, but he's just left a massacre on the ground by A. Gen.G gonna be smiling about this one too, looking clean enough. Certainly not flawless at this point, but still. What can less do with this anymore? You can maybe claim pride's sake. He's being toyed with though. Texture's going to back off from that one. He's not liking what he's seeing, but still, what a start here.
Yeah, it was Munchkin really putting up numbers versus Secret that individually just looked absolutely phenomenal. Have another performance like that here with that round 2 of the second half. Already off to a good start in that regard. Les is going to be given a consolation here.
Maybe.
He's got to make sound to drop off here. That's Karon to be the first, but once again, shut down here. Gen.G. 2 rounds to kick off the second half. In early response here, you saw how quickly Gen.G were able to carry away once they did get control in the first. That was after Loud started 4-0.
You can't ask for much better, can you? You have your probably, your big name players. Texture already having a great start. Then you're pumping up Munchkin as well, starting to feel out the game. I mean, Munchkin's one away from his ult.
Yeah.
It's
in round
right
3,
there.
yeah.
Wow, got to answer back here.
He's going to get it. So the orb retrieved here outside A.
Job done.
QCK had a chance there to swing onto Lakia, but respecting it.
Careful.
So contact found, and QCK actually dashes all the way out.
Yeah, they're drifting across already, going to pull those rotations in.
Once get down to 55 HP, but obviously with the ultimate, maybe a second chance at life here. They do decide to invest. 2 Guardians, 2 Bulldogs. Next year with a scope in hand, so a little bit hesitant here.
Yeah, there's a
from
pause
Loud.
here.
I mean, they have successfully baited out the ultimate, but Munchkin still delivers. QCK will fall.
And you know what, if he didn't just get that round he had one prior, I don't think he's swinging that on the HP, but he just delivers it again. Caron on the back lines, great shot towards Sadak. And they've just capitulated. They've faltered, which is very anti-Loud. And they pick it up here. Munchkin is still down low. County's gonna find Meteor, but no, Munchkin's still gonna hold that line just perfectly.
15 HP, still
Falls away.
delivering.
He's still holding. He's buying time for this flank. Look where Texture is. Look at the minimap right now. Come back to watching Munchkin. If he can buy a couple more seconds, precious time, that's perfect. So he's going to tuck himself in, make him try and hunt him
They get
down.
spotted. They spotted the rifle.
He's cleared, but there's Texture. That's what it was all about, trying to buy time for him. But now the position's noted. But 13 seconds, this puts Tui's right under the gun. He's got to get that plant, or he's got to toy with the time and try and catch out Texture. But Texture's looking ice cold. He's looking like a killer. He's moving in, closing in, and he's got him dead! Gen G off to a flying start in the second half.
Beautifully done. Munchkin running down the clock. And actually, the kill comes through. It's traded out at the perfect time by Texture. Tui's just so many question marks after that. Tries to get the cove down, tries to bait it out with the first tap of the spike, but Munchkin, man, like I said, 15 HP, still delivering, digging his heels in here. That's a 3-0 start here. Loud back down to a broken purchase. Some pistols, a stinger. Tui's an ultimate to work with, but not much else really to pin your hopes to.
And this point, unless, you know, Loud do rekindle a little bit here, that's rough. That's rough. That was ambitious and didn't work out. Now down to the 3. This is when I start worrying about the larger picture of the map pool, because we are walking into the unknown after this.
I didn't want to talk about it. Yeah,
it's early, but it's looking like 10's just around the corner. So it does make me worry about seeing Breeze.
It does.
So I'm sure the desk will, you know, hit on that afterwards, and we will, I'm sure, harp on about it. But this is certainly scary times for Loud and the fans, as Gen G looking meticulous, flawless in this.
Double digits already here. Loud, I mean, very precarious in terms of their finances here as well, because they're going to buy back in here. Potentially, if they concede this, it's 11. This is a pivotal round in terms of the outcome of map 1 here. Sadak's unable to really convert the damage through the wallbang there. Again, I don't think it really would have made too much of a difference. Gen G well equipped on both sides of the map.
They're having fun. Every round just seems fun to them, which is, it sounds silly, but it makes such a difference.
Yeah, and the concern being coming into round 17, there aren't enough real playmakers in terms of the ultimates here to string together for Loud. They need to do some heavy lifting here to find their way into this. Yes, Tui's is there, but feels a little flaky in a full 5v5 execute to throw that ultimate out.
So early.
Texas spotted it out as well. I mean, look at how deep Gen G are pushing now. Yep. They're so happy to continue this limit testing here and forcing Loud. I mean, look at the minimap now. There's no other options really.
Too risky to go anywhere else. So.
Well, Loud are still considering it. With 60 seconds on the clock, they're going to potentially re-explore mid or A.
I just feel like I haven't seen Loud play like this in a long time.
It's hesitant once again. Yeah. Noted it in the first half.
Which is bizarre. It could prove a nice little fake, having Sadak do this to be, you know, the one to show. But you're leaving the rest of Loud, you know, QCK, Tui's, to walk into A and just hope they succeed. There's still 2 players there. They haven't pulled these rotations.
That's a big kill, though.
That is huge, but again, I'm looking at the 2 players on A. Now, less caught Texture. That's the one that mattered. There is still a man close by. That being Lakia. Can he do any damage? Can he be the man? No, not this round, not now. QCK with a quick beheading and looking to dominate, looking to control this site, make sure it was worth it. A long-played fake coming out from Loud. Very valuable and very well handled. It's just Meteor now. Position is noted. And Loud looking like they clawed one back here.
I was going to say, need to keep it clean here. I just want to see Meteor getting any other consolation. A must-win round for Loud, and they deliver. Maintaining 4 rifles, a little bit better in terms of the progress towards these ultimates now. A crucial kill from Sadak and Cowanzine to remain outside B site here. Try and catch a rotation. It just so happened at pretty much exactly the same time.
Yeah.
The other half of Loud did find success on A as well, catching, I believe it was Texture to full first, and Makia second on the chopping block. Operator back out for Texture here, Blade Storm in hand, but I said with that round victory, actually Loud now with the upper hand in terms of this ult cycle. Nothing available just yet, but look towards the Hunter's Fury. Obviously, the pit and the lockdown in this composition, all within touching distance.
Well, the mid-walk will have limited success, at least initially, because of the turrets. That should alert Loud that there was an attempt, but no one particularly fussed by it just yet. Still very focused on this approach. Again, these 3-2 splits. Last time it was more kind of 4-1, Sadak being the one to pressure towards A. And look at the pull of rotations. 4 players in response. This could be quite, you know, the masterclass if Sadak can keep calling these fakes that are pulling the rotations. Lucky his timing was just out of this world. QCK caught unawares, but Cowanzine's there to back it up, so still going to keep players close by. But now Loud need to strike, right? They need to kind of find that timing to hit B here.
They do.
Caron is holding.
They need to capitalize because Munchkin's slowly edging, making his way through mid, under tube. Plant will come down. I don't think Karen can deny. Oh, nearly catches Sadak on a retreat though.
Okay, they got what they wanted.
We do have a late Hunter's Fury here though, so whether there's any backline awareness or Munchkin's going to be the one to potentially try and shut that down. Actually invested, but not going to find
shallow.
Yeah, not going to find anything on the back of that.
No, so now we wait and see. Does that pressure start mounting? Can Gen G break the back line? They've already pulled Munchkin back through towards a standardized approach. This is now going to get scary, right? There's the Hunter's Fury, going to be drawn out from the tap of the spike. Spray from 2Es is good. Follow-up is better. They're holding on to this. Munchkin going down on 2Es. Exceptional work there. Loud finding life, finally.
And a couple of those and potential to break the funds of Jedi. Actually, even looking at it here, Cameron's down to 2350. Maybe that's why we see the timeout here. You have to string something together, but really well coordinated here. It's obviously QCK, heartbreaking to ever see a death like that. He's just a split second away from maybe slipping into a more dangerous position.
But the overall picture, it's Loud achieving great success on these kind of fakes. To an extent, I say fakes, but it's just kind of showing presence on the other side of the map. I mean,
it's just a widespread default that they are finding value on both extremities.
But it is so widespread, and it does make me slow enough. For now, it's working, so I'm not going to doubt it, right? It's silly to doubt something that is proving fruitful. But as said, when you saw QCK catching some really bad timing, fortunately, Cowanzine was there. But it's quite precarious. They're willing to make these risks, which is working out for them really well here. Forcing the timeout from Gen G. The gap getting close enough, they thought, okay, let's pump the brakes a little here. We don't want that momentum. Almost a response to what we saw from an earlier timeout from Loud. So very symmetrical in that matter. So we kind of check in on the ult. Almost again, very symmetrical in that regard. Both very close by. So this isn't just back in Loud's control. I think these have been some quite precarious rounds they've run. Obviously, Loud being as good as they are, they make them work. Exceptionally done. Now we're into the meat of it, though. The
concern being if you have somebody that's going to deliver for Gen G, I guess across the map and from an individual standpoint, players like Texture, like Munchkin, potentially even Karen in these situations. I mean, it was called upon in the previous round, but not much of a chance to really stop that plant from going down. That's when it feels a little uneasy.
Oh, late switch as well. Just about, yeah. So Texture going to go for the operator, soloing out A, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, very, very early indication here of some aggression on the side of Gen G. Loud have to respect it now. I think initially they were going to throw a little bit of U2 out. Texture able to control that op shot. Could have been rewarded wrong. Karen.
How did he get seen there?
Not entirely sure, but both snake bites used, and now doesn't really have the security to play up close and personal. As Loud look to re-aggress, but will shut down the owl drone. So question mark still here.
Audacious from Munchkin to be the one to go back in.
No
oh, come on. That's filthy. Back-breaking for Loud as well, just to lose out to that judge. They've got the upgrades they wanted to. Karen was willing to die for that. That's fine. He'll take that every day of the week. You guys lock it down afterwards. I've done the damage. Less than QCK now in that position at yellow could be the end of the Munchkin. still holding on to this one. QCK gonna try and check close, loses out, and less now. There's so much and so little opportunity.
This is so bizarre. I think at some point Karen spotted whether or not they don't see he's got a judge, I think is the issue. The knife obviously removes the owl drone, and immediately Gen G re-aggress. They post up close once again. You see here just under the minimap. Obviously the suppress onto Cow and Zine. Loud just caught off guard a little bit here.
But a nice gambit, right? A nice little just, okay,
Sure.
get the judge, play up close, see what we can do, right? And you're willing to give it a run. We're back into a more traditional looking round, it seems. I think apart from QCK, but he does have his ults, that's not a problem. But a brawl looking to break out. Lackey, the first one forward, finds the scalp too. He's looking for the follow-up. He's going to get at least an attempt at it, but backups arrived. Caron, Munchkin, all here. Dizzy goes out. Lackey is still buying time. Stanak still putting up numbers though. Body's starting to drop here. Can he do any more damage? Lackey is holding his nerve. I don't know how he's still doing this. Oh, less lovely work from him. But look, you can see the crunch, right? Texture is on the way. Meteor, how long do you hold here? How long are you going to stay
Look at the flank
here?
from Texture.
He's on the way, but...
He's already on the outside of this lockdown.
Oh my word, Meteor. Scary to me.
A little bit curious.
Yeah, don't know what the game plan was there. Mike, did I miss something?
A little bit curious. There is a space in that, so he had a chance to at least, I don't know, take a 50-50 back up into the corner there.
Better than a 0. I mean...
Because then Texture's completely caught off guard.
Yeah, that was...
Scratching my head a little bit over that one, but I mean, maybe just a little frantic, maybe expecting Loud to push up and maybe, I guess, lack a little complacency. But after the start of this round where Gen G time and time again have shown they're happy to be aggressive on A, yeah, left scratching their head as well.
Maybe we missed something, maybe so did Gen G at that point.
I mean, I did touch on this initially, the plans for Gen G, talking back to some of these series that we saw recently,
Okay.
the initial plan, and things kind of just going really skew if after that falls apart. They're not really knowing what to do, not really having any direction when, you know, there's sort of a little bit of chaos or there's some questions to answer mid-round, and a reaction is really required from them. But yeah, I'm not sure.
And funny enough, it's a timeout from Loud here. Maybe to let them just...
Take stock of things, yeah. We're obviously getting towards the end of this Gen G up on 11 rounds, but...
Look at the string of rounds, though. It has been the 2 back-to-back for Loud with those lovely kind of, you know, wider defaults, you know, more exploratory towards A as well. The one right back into it, and then the answer just then, there was, as I said, a very uncharacteristic round, kind of caught us all off guard. But we refocus and we look towards what we're seeing, and Gen G's money has suffered.
Yeah, I mean, 2 Guardians and a Vandals come into this, but look at what the old cycle is potentially going to be in the next round for them.
Snowball.
Yeah. Lots of things at their disposal. Less than 2 E's ultimates on the other side. QCK, an operator back in hand once again. Gen G happy to continue. I mean, it's 4 deep here on A site. Now going to try and make a quick decision on the back of that.
Oh! Shots.
Les absolutely decapitates Lakia.
Les is pretty decent at this game, isn't he?
Texture going to swing on it as well. Yep.
Oh! The baiting, though. They tried to play him in off it, but it looked like Lauder is starting to really get that read. Starting to feel a bit more comfortable, seeing a little bit of that diligence, kicking back into place. Meteor and Munchkin just trying to make anything happen, and Les is having none of it, really, just free farming now. He's already got his ult. Oh, the moves. Not going to happen there, Munchkin.
Really, really well handled anti-eco here, and that's the sort of composure we expect from Loud to punish these sort of plays, keep Gen G in check. I mean, to say that though, 11-10 the scoreline, still need to tie things up. Bladestorm out of the equation, but these big ultimates still available for Gen G. Lockdown, no command, and the pit.
They are looming, right? There is that slight worry. It's just kind of hanging over the head.
I mean, yeah, I'm worried because we're already at this scoreline here.
When do they
pull
the trigger?
To be honest, with how Gen G have performed, the nature of some of these round victories, it's been really telling. They were the ones really that set the precedent at the start of this map, and in my eyes have continued.
I agree. Now, operators come out for QCK this time. Looking to maybe work off the back of that owl drone, clearing the space towards B. We do see there is a player tucked in by yellow, and massive rotations, actually. 4 players being called back in towards B. Maybe just off the back of a lack of any audio cues, any presence towards A, maybe putting stock in this now after falling foul to those A presence plays, but already you can see that flash coming in and the fight starts. Karon with a fantastic double, finding less, finding Karanzine, and they are running.
Yeah, Texture. The anchor over towards A. So Sadak,
He's seen him.
does catch a glimpse. But a crucial 1v1 here.
Does he go again? Texture, you can see him, he was considering it for a second, but he thinks better of it, right? Play safe, play your life. The double pump.
Wait, yeah,
Spike,
Tui's just completely faked this out with that utility.
Look at that spike running, that's so good. And the lockdown. Oh, and you know what, if Sadak
This is
feels
devastating.
like he's being a Galaxy Brain, get into middle if you feel like he could, but he's going to back up his boys, get back towards the site. They're going to get a plan out of this. They don't know the level of success they've had, but they could not have asked for a better outcome, making the impossible possible. And now how deep does QCK go here? Oh, that's perfect. Meteor's out of there. Fair now. 3v3. Ridiculous. Munchkin still got ult, still got knife. Not much utility outside of that, though. Where do they find that success?
Yeah, no
QCK at yellow here.
No flash to really open things up here, so it's going to be a dry gunfire on the way back through. Munchkin drifting pretty deep here.
Here we go. This is a scary time. Spots him
spot
for a
him.
second. A pixel out of place, but he's worried about the fuse texture. Punishing QCK. I thought he saw him, but maybe it was just a stray shot. Tui's now getting paranoid, getting pulled in, and maybe Texture going to close that gap he's trying to. Sadak in the same sort of position, and now Tui's. Oh, he's overwhelmed. Gen G. This time is down to the wire.
Oh my God.
No way.
And again, it's a little chaotic there because I don't think the communication is clear on whether or not the diffuse is being stuck.
No, they had no idea. It felt
Both
like.
individual players from Loud, I think, spot out two members of Gen G, but they're just charging to, or maybe they think they had the timing down and they just need to get bodies off the spike. But this kill onto Sadak here almost seals the deal with Tui spamming so much. 0.26 will get Gen G to map point here.
Oh, wow. That is a kick to the guts for Loud, though, isn't it? Feeling winded after that one, after calling the perfect rotation.
That felt done.
Yeah, but Texture
Loud had done
again.
everything they needed to.
He's going walkabouts and Sadak. He's missed his timing to catch this. It will eventually show, sure, but by now,
That's
space gone. This scares me. This scares me. Look who's lurking, look who's waiting. Texture could be in for a blinding round. Bear in mind, he could get played in Balakia here as well. There is that opportunity.
This is rough because the pings are coming out. You can see on the minimap here, Nest and Pipes have been pinged.
No idea about Texture.
Oh
How long
my
does he
God.
wait? Does he keep his cool?
He just hard cleared under on the wrong side.
Oh my God, they line up! And he almost knocked him down, but Balakia swings into that last minute, punishing Kalanzine. This is looking like Loud is on the ropes of map one here. Opportunity dwindling. Less than two, he's gonna have to dig deep now.
Yeah, detained. Up on Pipes here, it's less. Left-handed, but Lakia will fall now.
They need more. That can't be enough, it needs to be more. A 2v3. Spike still in the hands of Tui's, and let's try to control the site.
Does have the pip, but obviously the null command going to remove that. Meteor will fall here. Let's going to get another one.
No
He
way.
has indeed. Oh my God.
What an absolute beast! When Loud needed him, he was there.
And Gen G just seemingly no awareness that he was going to stay tucked into that corner.
Because I thought there was going to be Texture's moment, right? You're looking at that round, you run it back, you look at the minimap, surely gets to bail out from Lakia coming in less. What is
He's
that?
just so clean. I mean, even here to react to Munchkin,
Like,
throwing
tucks the
his
corner
life
as well.
on the line.
God tier, God tier.
Gen G to pump the brakes a little bit after a heartbreaking round loss. And that will break the bank as well. Ultimate's invested. Karen's still with the pit, but I feel like Loud come out of that gleaming. Definitely with the upper hand here. A pit of their own, one away from the lockdown, two off the Hunter's Fury as well. And a shot to the heart of Gen G, who probably felt like they were closing out map one there, Lauren.
Oh, man. Yeah, oh, come on, you're feeling that, right? Like, you, as said, you look at that mini-map, you play that back in your mind, you think, how does that play out? You're putting Gen G up there, right? Yeah, that's, anyone would. But then there's one man less standing
Absolute
there. What
superstar.
A talent. What a talent. And that is again, when you talk about value of kills, Les has got 25 kills. He is currently leading by a country mile the value of those kills just then have kept Loud alive in map 1.
And the value of round 23 alone, sorry.
And he's broken the money.
Yeah.
Money's in tatters for Gen G. It's never stopped them before, but in a moment like this, gotta still those nerves now.
Sadak, if he can sniff this out early on, turret's gonna go out. Yeah, Sadak immediately bolting away.
Something.
Yeah, exactly.
He can feel it. Sadak's calls, I've got to say, have been quite nice, especially on this half. I've been liking what I've been seeing. How much info does he get? Okay, a little bit of info. Not going to have the full weight behind it,
should
but
be
it should
the
be
green
enough.
light. Absolutely is. Utility invested now. A-site up for grabs. QCK happy to take this space away. Meteor, will he get a chance to find anything here? But he's only got a Guardian. He's found one.
Massive, massive work. And now they're halted. The rotations are going to be in. Loud might have dropped the ball at the final hurdle, but Meteor getting a little too ahead of himself, still wanted to do more. 50 seconds. There's time for rotations.
Texture, the only one actually in a position to catch this. Doesn't overcommit, but it's a little bit of a fake. It's pulled Lakia. Is it potentially going to pull Karen as well? They spotted the cross, but Loud immediately drift back towards A. And look at the map now.
They've been conditioned to respond to this. This is what Loud was doing during those string of rounds. So now it's all on Munchkin. He's trying to play ahead. This is so brave, so bold. He's going to take 1, 2. Oh, I thought a third.
That's
could have
huge,
happened.
though.
But it's massive. The site is open, though. And with Les still alive, there is always going to be a chance.
And he has a pit to play with here. 1 snake bite left. Tui's commits to the plant.
Plants in. First fight. He's got it. The drop down. Did he spot it? It doesn't matter. Tui's is there. And now just Caron. This guy has to step up. He's got to try and do something. But so much against him. And look at the reposition from Les. So hard to find, and Tui's going to try and play his life. But Karen takes it away. 1v1. He knows where he is. But what are you going to do
Les is
about
wrapping
it?
heaven. There's
He's
buying
toying with
so
him.
much time.
But can he get a safe defuse here?
I don't think he can actually get an
Can
angle
he
on
span
this.
it? Can he stop this? Because Karen ain't stopping. He's going.
No
It's
way!
going to be 13, and it is Gen G steal away the 13th round. Heartbreak for the hero, Les, having to watch that slip away.
Out with a Red Bull clutch versus none other than Les. What a ridiculous way for this map 1 to conclude. And the penny drops just too late here.
Bloody hell. What a map 1. What
That
a
was
map 1.
ridiculous.
Come on, this has been unbelievable. I've got to have the desk. I've got to have map 2. Let's get out of here.
Excuse me, would you mind taking a picture of us?
Oh, no problem.
Thanks.
Yes, problem. You need Verizon. Trade in that old thing and get a new iPhone 15 Pro with tons of storage, so you can take all the pics. So many selfies.
A preposterous amount of panos!
That means panoramic. And as many portraits of me as your heart desires.
How about none?
None feels right.
Trade in any iPhone in any condition and get iPhone 15 Pro and iPad and Apple Watch SE all on us. Only on Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.
My head in my hands, listen up, says my teacher. In front of the class, he says if you're not a believer, you that's on you. Better shape up and pay your dues. Off with you, that's on you. I'll be on a flight soon to Vienna, sing you. Gotta know all this propaganda. How do you do? Better get it with my own man. piece of amber. Give me a breath like the fire you'll soon remember. Ooh. I'll be inflating till the end I'm singing. Ooh. Drowning all those propaganda. How do you do? For all the things that I've said, pushing me closer to the edge. Hand like John, now let loose. Don't mind if I do. For all the things that I've said, pushing me closer to the edge. Hand like John, now let loose. Don't mind if I do.
Help me with some translation. Solo, congratulations on that first map win. And now up next is going to be Breeze. And at Pacific, we know that this is a map that you guys beat Paper Rex on, but it can also be 50-50 for you guys. What's your plan?
일단 첫 번째 세트 승리 축하드리고요. 이제 다음 세트가 브리즈인데 사실 젠지가 페렉을 상대로 브리즈에서 승리를 거두기도 했지만 어떻게 보면은 반반 갈 수도 있잖아요. 어떠한 계획이신가요?
저희가 조금 브리즈가 부족했던 부분이 많아서 저희가 마스터즈 오기 전에 준비를 좀 많이 해가지고 네, 조금 그런 부분에 있어서 저희가 자신이 있어서 픽을 했기 때문에 네, 자신은 있습니다. 네.
So before coming into Madrid in Pacific, we saw a lot of points where our Breeze was lacking. So we tried really hard. We put in so many hours to fix those and really add on to our Breeze. And I think we made the Breeze stronger. So we're extremely confident. So all I can tell you is that we're feeling confident.
Ooh, well, after that map and after that, a little bit of a teaser. Cannot wait to see this one. Let's see if Genji can close this out.
Oh, I can't wait to see it either. Genji, welcome to Masters. What a statement they made here, Mimi and Kakuka. You just can't help but love this team already.
Yeah, I mean, they played incredible. You see it in all of these reactions, just how much it meant to them. But for the squad, it really seemed like they were in control for the first part. But then the last 7 or so rounds of the game, Loud stepped up. Les was out there dropping almost 30. Sadak seemingly couldn't make a wrong call, but Genji still prevailed through that. Won 2 critical 1v1 rounds and pulled it off.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, for being a first map in a match here at Masters Madrid, I think it's crazy the amount of overcook and overthinking that has been going into some of these rounds. We know and expect that Genji was going to be a little bit more aggressive from the defense, and actually seeing Loud adapt onto it, as you're saying, like the duel of the minds. Some rounds being crazy just because of it, because they've taken not the extra mile, but the extra 3,000 miles.
These teams were so closely matched, and it really came down to the little things. There's 2 rounds where Loud plant the spike, go for a reflank, but it's just not planted in quite the right position to win because of it. It really came down to
what a way to close it.
And yeah, I mean, that clutch, beating Les in that situation to end the match is ridiculous.
There is just something about Loud on Icebox. It just feels unlucky at this point. But let's take a look at Texture and QCK, because we were very, very hype about both of these players coming into this. Kakuka, what did you make of their performances?
I think that QCK struggled a lot on the attack. He was not finding the impact that you would expect from a Jet coming onto Icebox, knowing the support that it was coming with it. And I think that Loud had to help in that regard. I think he went 0 and 4 in those first duels just on the attack. On the other side for Texture, I think that he was one of the pivotal and key parts to making them get into the game and actually find that success later in the game.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I don't think this was the best map for Quick, but for the other side, I mean, Texture was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think both the guys who are big question marks for Genji showed up. We saw Karon on being clutch. We just talked
But
about
that's
it, that
with
very last
Gen G, the
round.
clutches always go their way. Like,
But there was the question still of could they continue it against the
True,
best at an
true.
international
Yeah, yeah.
event against
Paper
a
Rex
team
ain't
like
the
Loud?
best.
Not this year. But yeah, I think that they have proven that these players can still compete at this level and still have that consistency that they did show back in Pacific.
Yeah, I mean, Loud, they have a lot to do now for map 2. But first, let's hear what STK has to say ahead of that map with Mika Fabs.
Hey guys, Mika Fabs here once again, and I'm now with Coach Pew and Arthur to help me with some translation. Now, Coach Pew, we saw that Gen G, that map was really, really close. So this roster is a bit of an unknown for a lot of people. So how did you guys prepare for this match?
Então, como é que vocês fizeram para preparar com esse novo roster da Gen G?
Eles foram um time que jogaram muitos jogos na região deles, talvez o time que mais jogou no mundo no kickoff. Jogaram muitos mapas, então, por mais que eles tenham mudado na line-up, a gente tem muito material deles para estudar.
So overall, like they prepared with a lot of maps that they had, like even having like new players or not, that was not an issue for them.
Awesome. Well, let's see if Loud can make a comeback in this one.
Loud, they do have to make a comeback, but they've done it before. Let's not forget that this is a Loud that ended up winning a trophy at Champs, but Kakuka, we don't know what they do on Breeze. What would you like to see on Breeze?
I mean, nothing too crazy. Maybe a little bit of innovation or something that they may have picked up for other reasons. And I love that you mentioned in Champs because that is probably the last time that we saw them playing on that Breeze. It's been a very hot minute. And as we were saying before, they have been banning this map constantly during kickoff. But we can also think that that was a strategy or maybe something that wasn't ready by the time.
Yeah, we have Agent Select ready now, so let's take a look and see where we are going to go. And Mimi, what do you think of this?
Loud is playing the default comp. It is interesting. They've been cooking on 4 out of their 7 maps with the Phoenix, Breach stuff, but I think both on Icebox and here on Breeze, that doesn't really work. You do need that dive agent, and we've seen teams try out the Yoru like Gen G, which is new. And I want to talk more about that composition, because it's Meteor of all players locking in the Yoru here. It's the only flashes they have, and honestly, I really like this comp pair.
I love the fact that they're playing this double duelist. We know what the Yoru is capable of doing in this map. The support that is going to come onto Texture, I think that this is one of the most important duos. We know how comfortable they're also playing on that double controller. I think that the way, especially that now that they're starting on the defense, after they're up 1 map, if they have a strong start, if they manage to get those mind Euro games into the heads of Loud, this should be a 2-0.
This is the map, Breeze, that is the aim check map, the mid-rounding check, where it'll go into the most chaos. So for me, I'm really looking at Loud needing to step up. We need more out of QCK as the sole jet on this team. We need to see the Sadak, who is pulling off the perfect calls towards the end of Breeze, or a Gen G, who is looking incredibly hot right now, might have a big upset on their hands.
And also think about it, Loud knew exactly that Gen G might bit into this, but Gen G is not scared. They're also bringing in something new. We were talking about how important the anti-strat, the preparation coming into the match is, but for this one, it's not going to be that simple.
Absolutely, and for Gen G, right? Like, this is a team where I think that element of surprise can help them out a lot. They tend to play a lot of default comps, a lot of normal stuff. Them coming out and having new ideas for Madrid, I think is really good for a squad like this that has shown the fundamentals. I like them taking this extra step by trying to get ahead on the meta and come up with not necessarily an original comp, but something different from what they've shown before.
I think it's funny because we say it's not original just based on what we see for a month. You know, it's like, it's been just a month, but
I mean, a lot of teams play this Yoru comp.
Yeah, but Breeze wasn't even in the map for sure. You know, it doesn't really, but if we go into think about how this first map went and how aggressive they were and the success that they were fighting into bringing back that chaos that we have been mentioning during the day, I think that this is probably what they intend with this composition. Is not only being aggressive every round, is planting the doubt in your opponent's mind that that might be happening.
Think about the implications for Loud, though. The team that has made 7 international events in a row. They've had events where they haven't done well. They bombed out at Copenhagen. They went out early in Tokyo. It happens for them. But this is a team that has expectations when they go to international events to succeed, to beat everyone else, to be one of the best. That's the pressure that's on these players. And they're really on the precipice of being upset here.
Yeah, it would definitely be an upset, but it also would play into the Gen G story, right? This is how they got here. They upset everybody. Maybe maybe Loud is carrying on the NRG curse. I mean, an America's team has to lose to a Pacific team on the opening day. That's just tradition. So with NRG not being here, somebody else has to do it. But I want to give some credit to Solo, because we want to talk about old guards. When Lakia was here at the last global event, Solo was his teammate. They played on the same team together.
I forgot Solo was on that team. That's crazy.
So the fact that Solo is being able to kind of go from the playing career into a coach and also come up with all these cool things and structure things that we've seen, we got to give him some credit.
Yeah, I mean, you absolutely do. Gen G, if there's one word to describe them, it has been disciplined throughout their run in Pacific. They're really good at kind of doing things right in the late round, at setting each other up well with utility, at playing the basics, the fundamentals at a really high level. Sure, it sometimes descends into the clutches, into the badness. They can thrive there too. But I think that's the identity that Solo has instilled in this team.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, this was just one map. I know that we're very surprised by the performance that we saw there at Pacific, but I think that going into the tournament, Gen G is going to be able to learn a lot from their opponents. I think that from this Icebox, even just today, after this day is over, they're going to have a lot to learn. And I don't think they're going to be the kind of team where next team is going to beat Icebox into them and kind of dismantle them. I don't think they're the kind of team that is going to struggle with that.
Well, earlier we asked you guys at home to vote in the MasterCard fan poll on which international league will win it all. I wonder if things might change.
Hey, okay, let's be honest.
This game.
Let's be honest. It was Sentinels. Everyone who voted Americas is Sentinels. The question's not in Portuguese. It's in English. It's all Sentinels fans.
I am Spanish and I speak English. And you say
that's true. I mean, obviously, Brazilian fans also do speak English. Some of them.
No one from Heretics voted here because
I feel like you're putting some words in my mouth that I didn't really say.
All I'm gonna say is I want to run this poll again tomorrow, depending on what happens later today, and see. But I'm gonna put a pin in that because the map is ready. We are also ready to dive into Breeze and hand this over to your casters. Here's Pansy and Hypok.
Yeah, I don't really know what we're walking into, Mike, if I'm completely honest with you. We kind of theory crafted.
We're free-balling. We're free-balling right here, to be honest.
Free-falling, I think, is actually the phrase. But no, genuinely.
No, it isn't. And to see Gen G now pull out a little bit of a switch up as well is a massive concern for Loud, because through all of the Phoenix and Breach and all of the, call it madness, call it overcooking, whatever, we come out here with this composition on Breeze. So that does actually bring into question whether or not it was left out here, and you know what even happened with the veto. And again, won't speculate until we do get an answer or something in an interview. But was this a potential to see today for Loud, period? And if so,
look,
what's the response to that? Because if you look at the rest of the map pool with QCK coming in here, and I mean, I was having this conversation the other day with GB, you make anybody play that much Phoenix and they don't come out looking like the best duelists in the world. I'm sorry, they just don't.
Hello.
So to come in here and sure, it could be a bit of a reassurance that we do see him on the jet. It's a bit more of a vanilla comp. Then maybe Loud dive back into, you know, where
Loud, it does feel like they somewhat baited the veto, right? You know what I mean? Like you permaban something for an entire season. Basically, when I say entire season, it was kickoff. So let's, you know.
Yeah, and again, it's weird because it feels like a small sample size. Yeah.
But for what it is, it was their perma takeaway.
हाँ, बाथरूम आदि बोलते हुआ जाता।
And beat you on Breeze. Unfortunately, that's just the way it happens sometimes. So to have it as kind of like a maybe.
आवाज आ रही है उन बहुत फाटे जे।
I'm scared because if I'm going to be honest, you know, I'll be transparent. First time for everything in esports. Icebox, I thought.
Gonna go Loud's way, just because.
Sure. Yeah.
Seen what I expected, I thought, okay, I'll put it there. Close game, but Loud's favour.
For all intents and purposes, this should now be. in my eyes.
If we're going off
Don't get me wrong,
what we've seen, what we expect, I don't know.
Gen.G didn't look fantastic at this regionally.
No.
I mean, they struggle versus RRQ, and to come out now with a new composition, something a little bit quirky, which Loud have stood the test of time playing against teams like, you know, international teams, the teams that bring out curveballs, your Fanatics, your Paper Rexes. Is this going to work? When you take map 1 in the nature that they did, it might.
I don't know. There's a lot of theory going, right? We can sit here and just kind of talk.
Mix करना है को मैं mix करना है को एक सेकंड भाई mix करना है को मैं बेवस्तु ए सांभर ना भाई आणि पहला बे हाथी को मैच कौन हाथी मैं सुबह TCS हो तो एमा कौन जीतू अबे तान Loud versus Gen.
For once, they didn't put us back on camera. Usually it must be...
That is because of producer Kevin. We've bribed him enough, and we just start swearing at the camera, so he knows better. But no, we love producer Kevin, one of our favourites. And now you've said that, there is a very high chance he'll just throw us on camera. So I'm going to sit down.
There'll be a flash of us ahead of the map starting. I do see...
The countdown's begun.
I do see a clock ticking down.
Sorry for the delay, folks. It's us. So since Mike's back, thought we'd treat you again. But roll your mind back just a moment or two ago. Map 1 was mental. 13-11. Gen.G.
I still can't believe that ending.
What an end. Ness's clutch, the diffused around after. It was wild. So let's hope we get a little bit of that. But no one knows because Breeze was Loud's permaban. Gen.G didn't look fabulous, but the new comp, it's all unknown now. Loud on the attack, Gen.G on the defense. What the hell's going on, Dan?
Sure, and really for me, early on we need to see some sort of comfort from Loud because obviously there were a few hit and miss rounds, a few 50-50s that didn't go their way on map 1, but coming into the question mark here on Breeze, definitely want to see them composed and in control here. They're going to drift very quickly over towards B. No real confirmations, I mean, other than deep down halls, the whereabouts of Gen.G, but with Munchkin and Karen posted up here, as I say that. Munchkin actually drifting out, but contact is found elsewhere.
Yeah, look how quick Les has got to this as well. He was so deep by that point. By the time they got contact, he was just by the pillar anyway. Good trade out for Munchkin, can at least keep touch somewhat on this. But again, it's not like QCK is stopping. He's really trying to take a lot of space here. Meteor and him very close by, but doesn't really make much odds. You're looking at the likes of Munchkin. You're then looking at 2Es. It's kind of, the fight on the fight, but who gets the timing on each other here? And actually, looking at this, Munchkin's got a lot of room. Finally noted by 2Es. Good timing to turn. QCK not going to spot Meteor crossing, and Loud. Very comprehensive pistol there.
Never really in doubt. Trade comes through, and Loud able to just steamroll their way onto B site. See if we do see Gen.G toy with the idea of any purchases once again.
Yeah, because they waited for that Stinger bite,
yeah,
didn't they, before?
The Stinger purchasing the Sheriffs to follow up as well. Let's clean up here from Cow and Zine. Maybe looking for, I mean, we don't say this often, but maybe looking for some early confidence boosters for Loud. It's not often they ever really have to rely on those.
But hey, it's, I think seeing the teams that have come out to this, hey, nice, there we go. Not bad at all. Did actually take damage from that too, but seeing the kind of change of the guard, right? Yes, I'd say that Loud are one of the only remaining old gods here. There's very few who've been able to stand out, and yeah, of course there's roster changes to it, but still at least having a core who's been to previous events. It's a whole different world this year in Valorant, and I think a lot of teams know it. And right now, Gen.G showing us a great deal. Good little work from Les there, unfazed by the pressure over towards pushing out on B. A little bit of attempt in middle. This round, somewhat of a throwaway, it feels like, as it is just kind of that Marshall 2 classics. That's it.
QCK looking to explore, though. Hey, Les actually pulling a rotation here, was not Meteor and Lakia considering digging him out, not with the rotation coming through. So Karen will be called upon here. Sadak just turns his head at the wrong moment, but 2Es from the back lines. And QCK with his deep position will punish Lakia's rotation. Meteor just going to try and get an orb. Constellation will find a third from his death. There's some early progress towards it, but really much else for Gen.G really to work off of. QCK does catch a glimpse. And a 49 HP though. Did take the tag with the classic. The third on the round for him.
Outlaw wins. But still, I mean, it's just like, in my mind, I don't know what I make of this yet. It's still so early. I'm still waiting for it to crumble. I think map 1's left me reeling. I'm nervous about this game, Michael.
Yeah, I mean, already, like I said, if you look at this veto, obviously, Breeze's surprise, yes, but like I said, I wasn't buying into it too much, but I still would have expected Loud to come out on top on Icebox. Just seeing regionally where Gen.G struggled and where you'd expect a team like Loud and what we know of Loud to really excel at. I mean, Loud losing out on clutches, right? Coming down to 1v1s and then losing a map because of it.
Yeah, that doesn't feel right, but a little bit of a different look here. Loud, straight up tube. No subtlety to it. The Flash gonna ring the dinner bell, and everyone's in response. Actually, Sadak the one to succeed there, taking down Meteor. That opens up the map. That causes such an issue. You put Munchkin now on his own, basically. If they can hold this, make it a problem, Texture's gonna have to bail him out big here, which maybe he does. It is Texture, unless has his eyes away from the prize, and Texture with the punish. Oh, not quite there, but the headshot was QCK living through that, and pressure elsewhere again. I'm really surprised they're drifting at these times, trying to find this, information or trying to take space. Karen's been noted, so it's no surprise he's here either. They know that he's going to be still around. That spike is still in spawn. This is what I mean. I don't know what to make of this map. Tui's going to go down, and now Sadak overwhelmed. What is happening?
I'll be honest, a really bizarre setup on both sides of the coin here. Gen.G, he said, drifting out in a number of different positions. Meteor gives his life up early, a rifle retained, but Loud unable to really convert that into any sort of snowball throughout that round. It seemed like a very, very strange round to watch back. Some damage done, but Gen.G retain. I mean, as much as they need. Lackey's going to come into this with a Guardian, but it's about as even as you'd expect coming into round 4 here. How this started. Sadak the closest at 2 off the null command. Actually, Meteor 2 off his as well with that early orb retrieval.
And it just feels like, okay, previous round, Loud, walk tube. This time, all right, we'll do the same.
Yeah, Gen.G, very quick to try and respond to it. QCK already top mid. Karanzine in, I was going to say, in a position to support him there, but Munchkin shuts it down.
Yeah, and I was waiting to see if Tui's actually gets played in further on this. Possibly, but as it stands, this is just scrappy fights. Meteor gonna grab that one, but that felt like a 50-50. 5v3 now, Sadak less than Tui's with no real foothold in this map. Losing 2 towards middle gives them very little beyond it. They're gonna have to re-clear tube somewhat diligently. Walking into it late. Eyes wide shut, and now Sadak, gotta be careful, there's 2 players here. Again, individual fights. You're kind of banking on Tui's finding some value here, maybe catching a rotate after Sadak's taken contact. You've got to be looking at Tui's. And yeah, well, it's lucky to go down. And now the round feels, I don't know, this is feeling like it's all in the hands of Tui's, right? Like, how much more can one man do? A great deal, apparently. Tui's can do so much for them. Munchkin now in the undesirable position of having to deal with 3, and his pressure up tube was everything.
Less down at 14 HP, but a 1v3 nonetheless. 70 for Munchkin. Doesn't even look like he's really too interested in going for this.
Oh, you look at Les's position, even if he just holds it, he'd be
He might even catch Les here.
Oh, surprised Les went that far. I kind of thought he'd just maybe hold down by pillar. Maybe looking to remove the rifle from Munchkin. But again, these rounds feel scrappy. They don't feel as refined as I was hoping.
Definitely not. Again, obviously talking about where this lies in the map pool and the overlap of these 2 teams. No surprise, really, but you'd hope, really, with this being left as an option, potential to see it, that Loud will be well equipped, and at least here with a 3-1 scoreline, they're able to keep Gen.G in check. No nonsense from Meteor on the Yoru just yet. But yeah, I mean, Tui's just doing Tui's things here.
That was very nice. I mean, that's how you basically save a round that wasn't his favor at all. What? I think it was like Sadak who was stuck.
I mean, yeah, they didn't really have control of anything outside of where spawn barriers are, so.
Yeah. Well, hero rifle left on Munchkin, that's it. The rest are down on Sheriff's. Light armor, I think, behind it, and Marshall. You got Meteor's ult, but you're not gonna, bring that out now, I feel.
Definitely not now.
No, very little chance of that, actually. Clean work from QCK. And, well, we're going to see the rifle shown off there. So Munchkin, they're going to note his positioning. Not a surprise. I mean, this has been his sight the entire time. That's not going to be a, you know, head turner, really. But it's going to, if anything, maybe force Loud to commit to this a little harder.
The utility sent in towards A here, but no follow-up just yet. Loud happy to give QCK some time to explore a little deeper. See the goal here for Gen G. Still a little bit of damage on the way in. Lucky posted up close with a ghost, but yeah. As if Karanzine sends the owl drone out, going to be spotted out very quickly. Munchkin, see on the X-ray here, trying to find a flank, but Tui's posted up for it.
Oh,
no
God.
way. That timing is ridiculous.
Oh, it felt like they were pausing for this. Genuinely, and now can they get away with daylight robbery? No. Very well aware of the possibility of them pushing closer towards the entrance, and is very precise towards the site here for Loud. Again, Munchkin was really the only one coming in with a rifle for Gen G this round, so he was the only one expected to do a little more, perhaps, but again, the post plant very difficult to break. Not gonna have. Oh!
Oh my God!
Get out of it, Munchkin! Come on now, you're not meant to be doing that. You're not meant to be doing that. It's not meant to even feel that close. A valiant attempt, but it's a round for Loud regardless.
That would have been one hell of an ace, though.
My brain was in the next round. That man was trying to pop off. Ridiculous.
How close to the other? I mean, he wasn't far off. He was not far off. Yes,
Okay.
a sigh of relief for Loud to find their fourth. Loud rinse and repeat, though, Lauren.
Yeah, but look at this quick attention to middle. It's Larky who's aware. Oh, the drop of that is just perfect. Teed up for it. Caron smartly and rightly going to pressure the extremities, and he's actually going to be able to isolate the spike. That's gone down and it's in his hands, but he needs the rest of Gen G to back him up, and then not. Less than QCK with effective trading, keeping them going in the right direction. It's going to be, again, Caron is your last line of defense, right? Like, he's the one holding that spike back. He knows where these remaining players are. They know where Sadak was because he was taken down earlier, and obviously QCK with the res. So now how do they approach this? I'm surprised that Munchkin's drifting this far away. And it's going to be Caron on the chopping block, right? Like, how does he handle this pressure? You've got presence from both sides. Does he commit towards one side of the fight? Does he try and just live in the corner?
I mean, Caron seemingly, I'm just looking at the minimap here, it looks like he has a decent read over this. Munchkin to find QCK.
Beautiful.
Sadak, 60 HP now, has to retrieve this spike. Still plenty of time to work with, though.
I was worried the Munchkin might have left Caron out to dry, but that's not the case at all. Caron held that spike down, kept them safe for the round, and Munchkin catching QCK just before that impact point.
It's just some really bizarre, like I said, Breeze can be whoever fracks harder on the day, and there's very little nuance to what we're seeing.
Oh, that's what he caught.
That's what he caught.
So I was like, where did he just go? Beautiful. Risky play as well to go all the way around top mid to that, and hope that he didn't cross over.
Yeah. Yeah, already what I've seen so far, Loud obviously trying to keep Gen G on red alert, that somebody's going to constantly pressure up halls, be up towards Switch, and really cause some problems on A. Potentially opening up the rest of the map for them, but Lucky now posted up with a Guardian. Shut down QCK on that very mission.
Oh, Munchkin though, so overwhelmed. Less with a quick shot, and Texture now feeling quite vulnerable. There's a little bit of room that he's not safe, and you can see the response potentially as well. Meteor getting a bit closer, Lakia trying to apply a little bit of pressure, trying to give him a way out of dodge here, and Karanzine was so blind, but it's too easy to punish Meteor, and middle is being won out by Loud until now. Can Texture change side? He can't! Sadak with just a pistol. Gonna put him to bed in a 1v2 now. Caron before did so well to isolate that spike, but I love this quick read from him.
Yeah.
Really smart and quick adjustment. Does he expect 2Es? Snappy adjustment. Loud stretching the lead.
Third on the round for him with the Guardian. Loud coming in definitely disadvantaged there. Yeah, Genji may be feeling a little rattled after that one.
सेकंड मैं तो एम कह
See
रहा
some investment thrown into
शनिवार है तो ऋषि जवान तो तू क्या जाए
Loud, yeah, definitely looking like they're happy to just commit to gunfights and feeling confident that in terms of just, I guess, the basic fundamentals that they're going to win out in some of these rounds. Did you have anything cooked up in terms of proactivity on the defense that, you know, whether it be around Meteor or anyone else in that regard?
It has been a quiet beginning between Texture, Caron, and Meteor. I've got to say credit for Caron there. One of the rounds was pretty much his gathering as well. You know, the nice little catch of the cross as well. But I'd say they're a little bit quiet, not seeing those individuals finding that impact.
Sure. I mean, also for Genji, this could just be damage control in the first half. Obviously, expecting this composition to be able to deliver and excel when they are able to attack. But
sure.
Tournament.
But there's going to be a limit.
That feels very risky. It's such a question mark with Loud not showing anything here.
Well, that's the thing. You can't come in with prep for Genji, right? There's
no, and
no tape on Loud.
If anything, Loud should be in like the upper hand because there's so much tape on Genji. They showed everything from the map ball, and yeah, we've seen a little change here. But the fact that Loud aren't really tried and tested from kickoff on Breeze themselves, you can't then just bring that in as well as blank canvas, really.
अबे मने सौथी वाला है पहले
Genji might have to learn on the fly, and I think this is a really good test of can they learn on the fly? Is there something they can maybe implement into this game in this half specifically to try and get a grip on Loud here, because Loud's starting to get quite the firm upper hand in this round, feeling very uncomfortable as well for Genji, considering they are down to the Sheriffs. I think there's a Guardian there, yes, for Meteor. It's Caron actively playing this, going to play into the smoke. Yeah, there, he's dead. Yeah, there it is. This is site control. They have rotations, but again, this could be a plant pretty quickly. Wall dropped, and now away we go. Texture here. Already, you can note Meteor has drifted up closer as well. This is a tough angle for QCK, actually. He could be overwhelmed here, but fortunately, he's got the boys by his side, and it's comfortable for Loud. Look at this.
No real threat whatsoever. Munchkin. Last year, he's got a trip in front of him. Nobody saw. We didn't see that. We get a kill though? No. It's going to be a flawless coming through here. Allowed to find their sixth. Feeling very comfortable in terms of the pace of Breeze so far. And Genji not really taking the fight to them in the majority of these rounds. Oh, the pink didn't even come through there instead before the Aldrone even revealed his position.
One enemy remaining.
They're going to need to see a switch up. Maybe in this round, yeah, exactly. Ultimate's available here.
Decent
Operator
purchase.
back in hand of Texture.
Well, he's going for it, right? If he's willing to stick on this, he's in a bit of danger. Flash will catch, but he's going to be able to retake the angle there, and they are falling off. So now look at where they're starting to commit. Look at the difference. Look at Munchkin.
Munchkin is just charging.
Full W.
He's going to get hurt.
They haven't turned.
Well, it got pinged out on the minimap.
Yeah, okay. Oh, it's laboured, but a one-for-one trade. I don't know what Genji are up to as well. This allows Texture Room. That's nice. That's the spike. That's huge.
Noted, yeah.
That's huge. Win out in middle, though. So varying wins on varying fronts. No one's finding comfort. The spike's back in hand. And now Texture trying to control A, but they've lost middle, so you can already see that Caron's gone down because there was no structure to support. Larkia playing ahead here, nowhere to fall back to. What is going on?
Really uncomfortable viewing, yeah. Allowed able to just pick Genji apart across the map. This sort of play style not suiting them here on Breeze. Going to got anything to set Meteor or Texture in motion on the defensive side here. Munchkin, like I said, was on a mission from the get-go. He was not slowing down. Desperate to look for a flank and commit to it.
But the way you said it then, desperate. It felt very desperate. It did feel well thought out. And again, all of them trying to make these individual plays to try and maybe get something in favor, but there's no trades coming off it. There's no space going to be taken off the back of it that's favorable. They look really lost here. And maybe they don't want to hit another timeout, but they've got to do something. Look to a different site now. First time we're really seeing this B side tested. No look towards middle from Loud, so this is going to be quite all in if they continue along this path. Already mid can be taken by Genji, so hard to fall back away from, but they are. So now do they punish rotations? If you're Loud, you're looking to maybe catch right middle. You're looking for players out of position, and Texture may be one of them. Sheriff could sing here, though. It's just not going to hold tune at this point. They fall away towards A, and they're just being drawn around the map.
It's similar to what we saw Loud try and do on Icebox.
Yeah.
Show presence one side and very quickly try and catch rotations or even get ahead of rotations.
Sunset ma.
Just slowly back into a little bit of control here towards bottom mid. Less punishing on the other side, though. Finally finds that pick onto Meteor. Comes in and gets spotted there. No, I thought maybe Lackey had spotted a rifle barrel, but...
Sadak, probably the easier target than most, down a little lower. The spam, it works.
Was that completely through the smoke?
I think it was. Okay, now it's getting scary. It's 20 seconds, and QCK goes into bailout mode, and you've got to keep going. It's 19 seconds, and they've got the spike. It's Texture playing bodyguard duty, trying to keep it safe. Pressure from the left, pressure from the right. Counting going to take down Texture, and his game on towards the site. Spike should go down uncontested, and what can Munchkin do now? There was a little bit of hope there. There was a heartbeat, a new lease of life, and that has been put down. Less keeps things going. Loud, fully in control here. Genji looking unprepared here.
Yeah. To be honest,
compared to map one,
there's not enough coordination here to really put either of the power players here, this composition, Texture and Meteor, in a position to really deliver. I mean, obviously, Lackey can only really do so much on us over here to put his duelist in, you know, an opportune scenario to really find anything. But we're not even seeing Genji rely on that.
No.
To be honest, it
just feels so
it's dry, individual, laboured fights across the map. And Lauda, I mean, I said it before, they're completely dissecting them.
Oh, they'll lap it up. Tag? Okay. Tag Counting. Texture. Going to note some of this utility potentially, so that could tee him up for some success. They are getting close towards that B site. Munchkin's position, dependent on the judge. Would have support from Caron, but starting to get a little anxious about this. Munchkin. Oh dear, oh dear, oh, it's absolutely atrocious. He's not going to be happy about that. Again, individual fight here, and numbers starting to really favour Loud. 4 standing, make it back to 5. Texture going to catch, I think, through the wall, potentially.
Just off the res, yeah. Sat back on his feet for a second, but immediately shut down.
QCK, with this position, yeah, he's feeling himself. He wants to get ahead. Maybe didn't need to do that. Could have been patient. Deciding he wanted to try and make a bit of a difference. Oh, going to go in now. How much of the spike that covers. Kalanzine, though, going to feel the scrutiny here. Oh, stunning. Spotting a pixel out of place, and that's Texture dead. Kalanzine looking for fault, not going to get it. Meteor with the trade, but it's a little late. But now a 2v2. Tap on the spike and the spray. Not going to get what they want here. It's still going.
Not again.
Not again. Oh, there it is. This time, going to make sure it doesn't go the wrong way for them.
This is heartbreaking for Munchkin. The consideration from Loud. The null command comes through, removes the poison orb. Basically negates any possibility for Munchkin to find value with the judge up close and personal there. On the brink of a 10-2 half hit.
Poison's gone. Yeah, this feels like this map pick is a complete and utter shock. Really, that Loud was so prepared for it. Keep in mind, this is Genji's pick.
Loud, pretty good on their permaban.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just, it's really bizarre. Like I said, this could have been the intention of Genji to play damage control in the first half and then really try and run away with this composition in the second. But it's a tall order to work back from 2 rounds.
I don't think 2's enough. You know, I just don't think it is. And prove me wrong. I'd love it. Texture. Thought he might fancy a go of it there. Opted against it in the end. He's going to hear some of these rotations. I think he is. So he's really quite poised in the right place.
Right, he's going to get cleared here.
Oh, from quite far away. So he is on his own. Lovely from Texture. That's what they needed. Get him a 3rd, and maybe there's a little bit of hope, a little bit of something. I have to see a great deal on that second half. But for now, finally seeing Loud with the disadvantage of numbers. Players in the right place as well. Spike still heading towards that A site. You can see them waiting patiently. Carol, one of them. Divide gonna come in. Oh, Cowsy, the combo with that is just rotten to handle. Texture still trying to be pivotal to the outcome because Loud are clawing this one back. He's down to a 3v3 now, and he's just out of it, and Les gonna lap that up.
How are they flipping this?
I don't know, but Meteor just right up in between them now, surrounded on both fronts. Tries to take a fair fight, but there's nothing fair about that. Munchkin now just too late to the party. Tries, and actually might do a little bit of chip damage to Tui's here if he doesn't get himself out of danger. And Tui's taking a lot of damage from this. That's a little surprising as Munchkin now ready for it, gets it. He gives them the tiniest of margins. 3 rounds, Mike. I don't know if it's enough.
They'll have to have something crazy to execute here in the second half, but they said the margin is so small for error.
Intense told you.
It's a team like Loud who just look, I mean, they've come out map one looking pissed off.
Yeah, they do.
Like they're happy to just dig their heels and commit to these engagements. Nothing really too special or much flair to Loud's gameplay.
Simplistic.
Either. Very simplistic. It's what you'd expect with this composition coming out.
Yeah, very vintage, classic, good spacing, good executes, nice pull of rotations, but as I said, nothing that's going to change the world. But 3 rounds, that is a lot to pull back from. They're going to have to really pull this one forward into that second half. We'll go to the desk.
Thank you very much, Pansy and Hypog. Loud, they've not played this map the entire kickoff, and Genji, they picked it against Mimi. Do you think they walked into a trap, perhaps?
I mean, I think they walked into the aim test map, and thus far they have not passed the aim check. Loud's players have been looking so good individually, and I mean, I think they were clearly spending some time practicing this one. They are applying the default comp. They're doing the boring stuff, but the protocols looked good. Everything you expect from this Loud squad, they were showing on first.
Yeah, exactly. And on the other side, we saw a Genji that was over-pushing time and time again.
How many times did Munchkin just sprint down B main like a psychopath?
Yeah, exactly. Time and time again. And the duos are so isolated one from the other. Loud had to do minimum work to get the entire map under control. I saw no apparent impact from the Euro. I don't know about you guys, but you know, in EMEA, it's a force to be reckoned with. Here, it was nowhere to be found but on the death counts.
Yeah, lot of depths in that regard out of this Euro pick. But it seemed like when Genji was running out of ideas, they started to go for these aggressive plays, like Munchkin running down, like some of these.
Yeah, but why is it Munchkin? What I mean, like you have a Euro, he can be aggressive
Munchkin.
and then go back.
He's the ultimate feast or famine. If you're from EMEA, you know Angel. Same guy, I'm convinced.
Let's talk about 2Vs real quick because it's not less on the Viper this time around.
But same Vipers for Loud, evidently good. 2Vs filling into that role beautifully. This guy was so sick in the Americas kickoff, and he's continuing that here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that his positioning, his off angles, how he's using the utility, everything is definitely looking very good for a map many people did not think we were even going to see from Loud.
Well, Night 3 is a fantastic start. Surely Pansy and Hypog, Loud will never lose a Night 3 lead.
Why have you done that, Sue? Huh? I see that smug little look. Don't turn around. I'm next to you.
It's an interesting throw, that.
All of the desk are being obnoxious right now. They're like, oh, they wouldn't come back from this, would they? Not a chance in hell, Michael.
Let's see the first few rounds, and then I'll either overreact or say I told you so.
Look, I'm the play-by-play caster here. Let me be the one to overreact. Excuse me? Texture just came bounding in, and he's still alive. Okay, not for long. Well, that was short-lived, and that's God. And this round was pivotal. This was the only one that could, like, if you lose this, I'm going to be honest, the odds become near on insurmountable. You see a little smile starting to come on Sadak's face. He's like, yeah, we've got 10, very early. Okay. I think this is the difference of having tape and not having tape to a massive extent and completely walk into a trap. This was Loud saying, oh, did we leave our permaban?
Oops.
Oh, I can't believe I've done that. Can't believe you've done that. And now, well, you've got 3 rounds and Loud of 10. So, it's a long old road back, Michael.
It starts with a ghost in the hands of Meteor.
This isn't Cadian's clip. This isn't how it goes. You know, this isn't it. It's not Mirage, right? It's not. Do you believe Meteor is the one? You think he's gonna what?
No, I think they're gonna walk into Lester's crosshair.
But they make it out alive.
It's on the first one.
Then what happens in the story?
I must wait a moment.
This is it. They followed that up. It was
Hang on,
kind of good. Like this.
I was Texture actually almost finding on the backside here. Cowan Zine. Well, that's fine. Munchkin will fall, but the plant should come through here.
Okay.
Genji an opportunity to reset at least. Texture don't jump onto that, but does find an attack. That's down to 24 now. Unable to stabilize a little bit.
Timing for Caron as well here. Okay, Lucky, that's not bad. Here we go. Yeah, okay. Okay, see, if you'd followed up, if you committed to the bit, Michael, this could have been quite outstanding. Considering we are now down to a 2v3, and Lucky is still hitting with the classic. Dewey's left reeling with the Bulldog. This has gone any other way than he expected. What a ridiculous round, and Gen.G. He can catch Lakia, that's fine. You still had to get past Caron. You still had to get past Texture. And you don't have a chance at it. Time to back away, try and keep that Bulldog in hand. What a turn of events here. Gen.G, they're not out of it yet.
See actually what the knock-on effect of that is if... I mean, now... I don't think saved enough to really get SMGs or comfortably get anything back into this, but... I mean, Lakia, bundle he's got. Definitely the Gen.G.
Gotta be.
Hitting a little different there from range. Yeah.
Left, right,
Is that a right click? I couldn't actually see the ammo counter, but it was a right click. Beautiful. Love to see those.
Okay, one Bulldog, Sheriff, a couple of classics. Oh, there we go. Okay, Gen.G getting fired up here. And they make it to 5. Tui's was the danger man. And he has done damage, but takes a fair bit himself. So, yeah, Texture's just been let off the leash, hasn't he? Really? So go frag. Go get some kills. Get the game going.
No, we did see that on Icebox as well. The first round that Gen.G actually won. We saw what Loud call a timeout at 4-2 to their advantage to try and slow down the momentum of stringing together a couple of pacey hits. Gen.G going to try and repeat that here on Breeze. They definitely need to.
5 HP.
The 6-round deficit soon to maybe be 5. Yeah.
Go on, find us. All right, that's how you get warmed up.
Those are the momentum builders. Gen.G up to 5 now. Now we'll be back on a purchase here, but there won't be anything left in the bank after that. No ultimates at their disposal. Gen.G on the brink of a blade storm. Texture already taking control of this second half, and QCK unfortunately just face plants into the bricks. Able to get away from that, but with the purchase here, you do favour Gen.G.
Okay. When do we... It's early. I'm asking... Wow.
Spirit's still high.
Yeah. They're a map to be good. That'd be all right. Maybe. It's not scary yet. Loud still have a 5-round buffer.
Hang on a second!
He's just ripping them apart, and as our Gen.G, this guy has been truly let off the leash. Straight in there, no messing about. Ferocious on approach, and the site's theirs.
Absolutely sweeps a site.
And if you're QCK, you're saving, right?
Oh, definitely,
that upgrade's not going to be risked. For less, what do? You got 350 credits? Cool.
I mean, maybe do a little bit of damage. You got Munchkin and Texture down, but Meteor's found QCK.
How's he done that? Was he actually peeking out?
And now the problem is Les has to try and hold on to the rifle, or I mean, Gen.G maybe expected him to go towards the operator. But a beautiful continuation of this pace by Gen.G. You can see Loud just get absolutely sucker punched, to be honest. Completely caught off guard.
And it was almost so disrespectful how confident he was at getting in there. Like, one, I was like, oh, fair play.
Well, again, seeing, I believe Sadak flashed up behind yellow there.
Yeah.
Was that off Meteor, or is that maybe a high flash from himself? And, you know, Gen.G get ahead of that utility?
Hoping we can see it again here, if possible.
There was obviously a stun set up here for Texture. Oh, it was just the stun, actually.
Yeah, it was the stun that caught.
But the snake bite landed, made it very easy. I think Sadak trying to relay now what maybe the game plan is for Gen.G, whether or not they have a read on it, or actually how versatile Gen.G can be with Meteor on the Yoru here. We talked about maybe being the approach of damage control in the first half. This is where Gen G can run away with it. They become the question mark here, not Loud.
Exactly that. And a second attempt for Munchkin there. Gonna note Kaunzin spotted him on the first attempt, and a pace change completely here. Gen G shifting gear, a lot slower, a lot more curious across the map. Maybe looking for those adjustments, looking for those changes. Because they've been somewhat in their face, almost brash about it, and it works really well, but looking to identify the adjustments from Loud. Maybe tube the next port call of at least a few of these players. 3-2 split, looks like. There's the ult.
Actually, 3 players up tube here from Gen G.
Are they trying to catch them? Are they almost hurting them back here as well to an extent, right? Like, Loud is sitting deep on this. They don't want to get caught, so the site will now go to Gen G, right? Like, that's just a straight exchange. So now the problem is QCK belting shot towards Texture, who has been an animal in the last couple of rounds. Can anyone else from Gen G step up? You still have a likes of Karon here, who has been known for those clutching capabilities, but pressured out of position and nowhere really to go. Loud starting to flex a little on the retake as Meteor now left on his own towards Yellow here. Towards the back of sight. Gonna note the footsteps, spot the player, and the white swing, it works to an extent. Tease up Kaunzin.
Lakia does have the Hunter's Fury here, but certainly in terms of the clock, it doesn't feel comfortable. Kaunzin actually going to send one out of his own. He's going to find Munchkin. Lakia now, you can see him shaking his head. Doesn't feel comfortable about committing to it. Will have to concede an 11th round to Loud, who just peel away from this so quickly. Gen G almost left, you know, wondering what to do with a free site.
And I kind of like what Loud were up to, right? This is lovely, but it's more how they almost held back utility for this sort of play, right? Completely clearing their way back through perfectly, understanding that they can't hold it frontline, so play it on the retake.
Well, look at the comparison. Coming out of the previous Salax, like, I mean, we just got overwhelmed. There's nothing we can do from behind Yellow there. This is the other side of the coin. Loud, once again, happy to concede space. We saw the same thing on Icebox as well. A good read on what Gen G wanted to do. And now with a much more comfortable scoreline, they have a few more rounds to figure it out, should they need to. Gen G definitely slowed things down from the first few rounds. Bladestorm, Hunter's Fury to work with. Comfortable in the purchase of the Texture.
They've been trying to be quiet about this, patient about it, beautiful control and a beautiful follow-up. Can't quite make it a third, but the damage is done. Early information, everything they would have wanted. So the 3 remaining, Lakia, Munchkin, Meteor, don't really have a big foothold anywhere on the map here, Mike.
Yeah, a little awkward on the spacing. Gen G punished for it. They'll find themselves in a 3v4. I mean, Loud elsewhere. It's only really going to be Kaunzin that's getting the audio cues here, but the rest of the utility from less in position to really spell out what this post plant will look like. Gen G commit to the spike now. I mean, 30 seconds left. Kaunzin already in the back lines.
Oh, this could be criminal. This could be criminal. So little safety. Oh
no!
Munchkin, that's a heartbreaking moment there. Kaunzin closing in. He's going to say bye-bye, Lakia. And now Meteor having to find something, no value to be had as Munchkin now. After what was a moment possibility that slipped through his fingertips there. He's going to be kicking himself on that one.
It's a round-winning moment there for Munchkin. Just too many targets to shoot at. A little bit of a fumble, but this will be Loud on 12 now. I said Gen G were comfortable in the purchase, but now no room for error. Has to be flawless from here on out for Gen G. Otherwise, we will be going to Ascent.
I was almost hoping we saw the moment from Munchkin. As rough as that was the swing moment. Yeah, you can see it. There it is. It's so difficult. What was it, 3 players up there? What a difference that could have made. It would have been a small lifeline, bearing in mind that Gen G were working uphill, to say the least. This has been an incredibly hard game to come back from. That first half was not good. They're probably not very happy with it. Second half started off with a bang eventually, but then somewhat slowing down. Losing a little bit of that spark to it. UCK Looking to take
खाली हेड
heads.
जो है ना बाहर आ इन लोगों
As Texture creeps closer up middle, but he's alone. This is a solo somewhat
Jet
endeavor.
मारेगा
Yes,
हूँ।
with a little bit of utility help from Caron, but that's about it.
See how quickly Sadak's over here to try and support Cow and Z and QCK. So holding on to the backside of Nest as well.
अच्छा
Almost there
last
with
match है ना
Lakia jump spot and is trying to put Texture in a position to punish that operator.
हाँ એટલે એમને નહીં આના पे कोई टीम नहीं है
Pretty well equipped for it.
Oh, but
Knife. Probably caught 3 there, or 2 at the very least, I think. And now the pressure's starting to come towards the site. 3 through middle, 2 through main. Flash there, Sadak goes in, gets handled though. 1-for-1 trade out, Texture still alive. Gonna let Meteor work his way in here. It's gonna be less holding from CT, 1 on site. Still some problems to try and clear, and less making himself the problem. Good trade for Meteor, but he needs a bit more. Plant gonna come down, and they still haven't fully cleared site yet.
Cow and Z's still here.
And that's...
What?
Okay, Lark, yeah, fair enough. That's the kill you're gonna get. No worries. Didn't expect that one. But QCK's position might be unraveled. Munchkin this time should be good for it.
Munchkin will have heard that drop. Was baiting up here with the wall. A crucial kill for him, and it's a freebie. QCK falls. 2E's now left to try and recover.
Nice.
Back here to seal the deal. 7th on the board now. You need another couple to break the money. Loud able to still purchase comfortably, and actually with the pick coming online here, an opportunity for Loud to maybe counterbalance that a little bit, leave 2E's in a position to anchor here, because Gen.G have slowed things down. There's an opportunity for Loud to maybe exploit that. Exploit, they do have rounds to play with. Well, they're happy for, I mean, Gen.G to continue making, in their eyes, mistakes, I guess.
Are they going back to what we saw before? Or no, definitely not the same pace to what we saw, but looking to maybe deal with QCK. Yeah, they've been noting that jump spot that you've mentioned, just that round prior, but that has been a constant. This time punished by Texture with the operators, not able to kind of do that same presence in middle, but look at this. On the other side of the map over by Elbow, Cowan's going to spot one. That could actually cause a little bit of confusion almost. For Loud, do they continue to commit to being close? They're going to be both spotted. Surely, they've got to make a run for it. 2's got to get out of danger. Texture trying to close the gap a little. Cowan's does find Munchkin, so the backline worry should be gone. Ult going to come in and Meteor plays ahead. Big pick towards 2's. But again, they didn't expect Sadak so close by. That flash, does it bank in? I think it might do. But the plant is in, and they are going to sit deep on this.
So ready now. Tricky position for Loud to try and recover from. Actually, got a tag onto Karen here, so some of that utility outplay for the time being. A miss from Texture, 39 HP.
The timing isn't going to be great now. They've got to get back to having that presence on the spike, and Sadak with a great read, but Lucky with greater positioning. Going to catch Kaunzine. Another tap on the spike, and now it's going to get so difficult for Sadak. 1 in front, 1 to the side, and no time to play with. It's 8 for Gen.G. Step by step, they are not out of this game just yet.
Bring it through, and I mean, a couple of members of Loud yet still above 2K, but now starting to struggle just a little bit. That's expected to see the timeout at this point. The last few rounds, we've been saying they've had rounds to play with. If the investment comes here, there's a chance for Gen.G to really turn up the heat here.
Yeah, this is when it gets fun, isn't it?
Yep.
Because you might get... I want to add into this as well. We've got 2 ults already on deck. We've got Meteors and Munchkins. Then you have Lakia not too far away too for his. So these are big ults, round-changing ults that can completely turn it. So they're going to have that as a fallback plan if they need it. But if they keep going like this, they've got some nice little reads. Again, just that almost assassination of QCK holding Tube, completely isolating the rest of the players.
Which is exactly the sort of thing you want to see there. But if they are going to slow things down, you want to see them have tangibles to action upon. Find somebody to be able to isolate. So that's a huge positive. The problem being is there enough? Like I said, with absolutely no margin for error, is there enough for Gen.G to really fall back on? I mean, now you've removed the operator. Maybe there's not as much of I guess, a requirement to find out players like QCK, dig them out of spots. See what the adjustment is for Loud coming out of this.
Okay, so they've got
tempered purchase. They're trying to keep, I mean, play their cards very close to their chest.
So your danger players, Les, Sadak, and 2's. 2's no armor. keep in mind. So Les and Sadak are heavy hitters. Actually, switch up?
Yeah, I was going to say, Les's utility now.
That
sets QCK in motion, but does what Karen ballsy on the repeat there. Lucky not to get punished. Genji almost anticipating a little bit of aggression to come out here.
Oh, the timing on this. Texture, did you miss him? You
absolutely did.
So now Karanzin's been let up.
He's rechecking it.
Oh, the guy's just
And it's at the perfect time. He was about to shoot Karen in the back there.
That feels almost...
But he did. Karen's down to 5 HP.
I don't know how he felt that time. Maybe hearing a step, but it felt like he was already on that trajectory. So now QCK fancies another bite of the cherry, but he's going to miss the window. They're already heading away from here, but they're hurting them. 3 players going to be waiting on that B site. Sadak only has a classic though again, but the rest have rifles.
A little bit of a misread here from Genji Loud. Be able to position themselves to maybe be in a position to punish this.
Can they still be so diligent while it gets so dangerous, right? The slow, oh my word, too. He's going to isolate Meteor. That's great. Held at the door, 30 seconds now. They're starting to run low on time, and there's no fallback plan because look at the flank. He pulled the trigger on the first, which I'm surprised by, but it's an issue. They have to clear it somehow. They just have to run. You can't stop. There is no stopping now. And QCK, a little short on the day. Just needs to. There we go. Does get it through. Spike gonna go down. Nothing should be able to stop that here. Karen's just gonna try and play out his life, buy some time for this.
It's all coming apart.
Falls, and now there's problems. Now it's down to Texture.
Oh my God!
A chance! A glimmer of hope! Can he hold on to it? Can he do it for his side? Keep them in this game. Oh, a snap, but it goes astray. 2-E's. The one to break in this game. And the one to take Loud further in this matchup.
There's a world there where Texture's able to compose himself after that collapse, regain his footing. Loud able to close things out, 13-8. It's that first half, too dominant in my eyes. Genji maybe feeling a little, I guess, apprehensive to really commit to some of the, I guess, mystery around this composition. Unable to get it really going in the second half, and a shame really, but wow, I mean, the question mark of Breeze all settled now.
But now we head towards Ascent, and I cannot wait for that one.
Watch me dance.
M Labs. Omen series Omen series કોની છે બે HP ની ના બકા ના HP Omen એટલે સ્પેસિફિક અલગ સિરીઝ છે Omen એટલે એ જ કહેતો હતો છે તો Omen HP ની એમ મને નામ યાદ હતા મારા રૂમમેટ ને હવે
Loud, they were down, but definitely not out. You cannot count this team out when they are 1-0 down. I'm back here with Mimi and Kakuka. Bit of a fake comeback, I kind of believe for a moment. What about you guys?
I don't think it's a fake comeback. They went like 2 rounds.
It was a bit more.
Like 3?
Mimi.
It was like a 9-4.
Yeah, it was like 6. It was like an 8-13, right? Like coming in from a 3. I'm so happy that you can count.
I've really been working on it.
You can
I've really been working on it.
Carry on.
No, that's the highest I can go. Sorry, it only goes up to 6.
All right, well, they got more than 6 rounds. So I feel like, maybe kind of a fake comeback, but nevertheless, Loud, they closed it out, which means they forced a map 3.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that first half, let us know a lot of how Loud was exploiting the fact that there was no Sentinel on the side of Gen G. We know that Cypher is incredibly strong on this Breeze, and not having it on that side, I think that it gave them a lot of leverage to do a lot of things. On the other side, when Gen G turned into the attack themselves, I didn't see that impact from Meteor. I think that Munchkin and Texture had a couple of very crazy rounds that might have given us that feeling of that fake comeback.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the rounds they were winning were off of the individual stuff, off of the players kind of finding timings, going crazy with the multi-kill. I mean, Texture in particular was looking ridiculous for most of that second half. But Loud, I think they play the normal comp that everyone plays for a reason. Cypher makes it really tough to mid-round on the attacking side when you're playing against him. The Viper is great first off. Tui's, by the way, really slotting into the role that Les has owned this entire year, and he looked incredible, right? Like, this guy in Americas, I feel like, is the new slept-on player for Loud. It's like he's the next one down the totem. Ospas was talked about, so no one talks about Les. Now Les is talked about, so no one talks about Tui's. But Tui's as well has just been a really consistent player. And whose fault is that, Mimi?
Whose fault is that?
For
what? Only talking about Les? That's on me. That's on me. But I really like Les.
We'll see what Les can do and Tui's can do on the next map, because Ascent is going to be that map, and we're finally going to see QCK play something that isn't the Jet Bear.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that is what that is the question. Maybe we see some changes coming into. We were talking about a very short window of time before coming into this tournament, so we can anticipate that. No, but hey, honestly, I said, at least we know what Les is going to be playing in Breeze, and I clearly didn't know. So what do I know anymore?
That's true. So this is the map where Loud is playing what they've kind of made to be their standard throughout the kickoff in Americas, where they're running this Breach Phoenix composition that no one else is playing. They were playing it on this map, but in my opinion, it was the weakest showing of this idea. Like we mentioned earlier, EG counter strategy. The way they did that on their defense, a lot of using 2 Odins, constantly spamming and pressuring mid, and also being very proactive to read through that space. This comp relies on getting mid control on your attack side, then splitting into sites. If you try and strong take through main without dive, 9 times out of 10, you're getting destroyed by stall utility and losing the round. So I'm really interested to see if they take the risk in going back to this comp, or if maybe they try something new and go back to the default comp, because I think that's also an option.
Exactly. Stalling utility, it has like double effect on them, because they do not have, they're lacking all of that mobility and all of that explosiveness into sides. 1-3-1, as she's saying, on the attack is going to be the comp common thing. And at the same time, they do not have a sentinel of their own to be covering on the defense. So the same thing that Gen.G struggled with on Breeze, they might struggle with when it comes to the defense and that mid part of the map. I think that if Gen.G is able to spot that weaknesses and come back a little bit also mentally for what happened on Breeze, maybe, you know, this could go their way.
Yeah, Gen.G's a team who I think definitely will have been watching those VODs and have looked at how EG managed to best this comp, likely expecting to see it in play here. They're a team that has really good fundamentals, is solid on their attack at playing the slow mid-round setup, right? I mean, that's the defense solution. On attack, you just kind of have to feel out where these flashes are, bait out util, and not lose out to these strong retakes. But let's spin that around. Those are some of the downsides to this comp. Well, then why the hell is Loud picking it? Because the amount of flashes you have gives you a ridiculous amount of options for mid-round reclears, taking extremities way easier with this comp, stun combos with a Phoenix Mally, that's really strong. Your retakes are much better than with the default comp. Again, because of combining all the different flashes, but you're giving up a Sentinel and you're giving up the dive to do that. What comp do they choose? Oh my god!
Well, everything goes out.
It's not Jet. It's not Jet, but it's also not the Phoenix.
Okay, so they're still playing Breach. They're playing Viper still, but they've looked at the Yoru instead. This actually doesn't change the idea all that much. This is basically the same comp. You still have flashes, they're equivalent of curveball, but now you actually get dive with
better flashes.
Yeah.
You also have a lot of mobility. Maybe they know that we're going to be playing on the Phoenix. They might be playing to cancel those orbs, to maybe, you know, deny that's ults coming online all the time, and maybe to twist some things around because everybody has seen us playing this Phoenix.
To me, this fixes the primary issue that this composition has. It adds the dive into the mix. Loud are so good at cooking things up, at having creative comps. I'm so excited.
I can't wait to get into it either. Sadak has been cooking. And on the other side, though, if Gen.G can pull this off, Pansy and Hypok, it will be a tremendous effort and an
better than Texture and less.
You're absolutely right, Sue. And I think at this point, no one can then question
Zaref no background
Gen.G.
में चले जाए.
VCT watch party. It's a bit weird, and you know, Icebox close could have got. Nah, if you can beat Loud here, and they've adjusted the comp that a lot of people had issues with, and they still come out on top.
Sure. For me, it's a huge positive to see Loud come in with this, because I think the desk have absolutely nailed it. It addresses some of the main issues with that Phoenix. Now, some sort of pressure towards the backline possible alongside County and QCK, but I mean, both teams pulling out the curveball. Being Yoru on map 2 and 3 here. Definitely excited to see it, and fitting for the closing of this series.
Mike, I can't believe it.
7-5.
I'm not mad about it. Not mad about it at all.
5-7 का तो 7-5 था.
Spot Meteor there. So
timing's perfect for Meteor, yeah.
I'm just going to find value from it, though. Trying to bait it in, almost. Too lucky at trying to set something in motion, but yeah, it sadly goes to nothing, which is always a little bit of a disappointment. Oh, the swing! That flash to the swing was fantastic. Lakia is incredible to at least trade that back into touch, but at this point, Gen.G have already got side control, right? So Plant's going to come down. Bit of a strange exchange in middle, but also look at Lakia's positioning.
Oh, bhai, pero jo na let
all the way around. I think did know that QCK was chasing him, but now in a position.
His timing's.
No.
Yeah, to cause an issue back towards short. QCK trying to deal with.
Good paranoia.
The door on the way back through, yeah. Slowing things down, but you noted it before. Look at Lakia now.
Get there in time because Munchkin's fallen, maybe very late, but I guess the plant is for it, right? Look at the plant position. That's perfectly placed for it. Karen's done really well here. Texture trying to keep their attention. QCK wins the fight. Now we've got to look at that plant position. Does it come into play? Lucky's gone down. QCK over-delivering, overdoing it, and Karen's getting in, and the Clutch King himself gonna pull this one off. And Gen.G with the first.
Beautiful conversion from Gen.G. I just think the whole time there, Lakia's the one to really throw a spanner in the works, but dealt with very quickly. Beautiful aggression from Loud to come out here. It's actually QCK's flash to open things up initially. He finds 3 on the round here, but forced into a very tricky position. Try and stick through this first half to fuse. Gen.G pissed around on the board. Only a ghost in the hands of Tui's. Resistance there is here. Only noting one as Sadak to drift away from main. Preemptive rotation comes through from Loud. Definitely the firepower suiting Gen.G though, as we've said.
No threats, yeah. You can see Louder poised very nearby though, just at that jump off point. Oh, the timing. How has Sadak lived through that? That feels like Texture was good for him.
Sadak's 1 HP.
Oh yeah, the Paranoia actually catching so many. Sadak and less though, finding value from the door, and now Texture feeling a little bit pinched here, and the shots aren't clean. Loud turning this one back on its head.
They're both locked out in main.
Yeah, they're both at the same spot. This is rough. The HP is really low though, and Gen G just needs to try and weather this one out. Les doesn't have the HP to play with, but he does get himself a nice little upgrade here, so could do well. He knows it's coming though. He's read. Oh, you couldn't read that one though. A really nice attempt and made it very costly.
Touch and go. For a moment there. I think with 2E's falling when he did it, if there was a smoke coming up or any possibility to cut sightlines here. Obviously noting the fragment and the nano swarm still available for Munchkin Meteor, so. Yeah, Loud definitely making things work. Like I said, Sadak swinging back through 1 HP and finding a kill. Some damage done. Obviously, Gen G be suffering from that. Just 2 guarded. Well, actually now Meteor rifle in hand as well. The Sheriffs to round out the purchase.
Doesn't feel as threatening of a bonus, but I want to see what they can do with it, really. Meteor is the interesting part to me, and a pace change very quick to this. Sadak is going to get the drop on them, sure, but does get to keep away with his life. 2E's going to try and post the Paranoia. Texture's ahead of it, though, and Sadak's going to check him. Just straight body check him on the corner. Texture's going to go down. Nice little underhand. Flash again, still stalling out here. Costing them a great deal. Sadak is being a nuisance. But he actually gets caught.
Tries to flash out.
I thought he was good for it then.
Maybe with the door would last another second or two. Karazine is the better Alakia. Now brings it to a 2v4. And Sadak, the only one that NG able to really pin down.
Timing. Bloody hell. Brilliant from Les. You'll take it every day of the week. You're smiling with that. Caron saved him. Pistol. I think this might be a little too far. Although Karazine really wants to give up his life. Does he expect less? No, he doesn't. Les catching crosses twice now. And happy with it. Loud going to make it through that first hurdle. It was the bonus for Gen G, though, so how'd you keep 3 rifles? They'll be okay with that. This is the big test, though.
Yeah, great work from Sadak and 2E's in the last round as well to isolate, really create some space between Texture and the rest of Gen G's numbers. As I said, Meteor doesn't actually land the molly to try and force Sadak out there and is punished. If that's a focal point for Gen G, because every single round here, Loud running with a different setup. You see, we know how they like to play around the breach, create as many possibilities as possible, but a big crunch outside here. Meteor can't pin anything down.
That's actually horrific for him. He's going to be gutted with that. Lucky. Oh, QCK right nearby, and they are just getting mauled to death here. Loud in their face, aggressive, pushing them in spawn. Loud, unrelenting now. Caron, again, in a similar position to before, this time in a worse scenario, however. Sadak is low on HP, and they're drifting back.
Still 60 seconds for Caron to work with, so plenty of time to make something happen. We've seen the clutch ability of this player in this series so far. This is a tall order here. Sadak and Karazine to overcome. Have his ultimate available, but obviously question marks as to exactly how Loud have retreated.
The whole map feels like a threat.
I mean, you see he's clearing every single angle here. Those 60 seconds now turn into 30.
Where'd she go with this? There's no smart guess, because there's no way you can put together where they are, right? There's no way you can just gamble an informed choice. It just doesn't work. So you're going to try and bait it out with the smoke.
Nobody's going to see that smoke, though.
No. So not really going to have the impact he wants. 15 seconds now, and he's walking towards the site with 2 players.
They're both tucked in hell as well.
Yeah, he's leaving it so late. There's almost no time for adjustment. There's the smoke, and they're going to close the gap here. Yep, he knows it. He's a sitting duck. He takes down 130 HP now, and he's unthreatened. Spike is in. Oh my god. Oh my god, I thought
he was way off that. I thought he was way off that plan. Well, regardless.
Okay, all good. All good.
Seals the deal here. We'll give an orb across to Sadak. The Caron, man.
Whoa,
the last 5 seconds look like 10 somehow.
God. How did he get away with that? Even the fact that he just stood
By
there,
Reaper जाओ ना तो
bullets
मार
flying
लेने।
past, tracers just real close by, giving the old nose job at that point, just barely making it out. Wild. But again, this whole round, Mike, they're literally pushing him in spawn.
Yeah, beautiful setup here from Loud to open things up. Sadak catching his breath after that. We'll see how much Loud have cooked. Again, because a lot of these set pieces they have, we'll hold that thought for a minute.
It's pacey. You can see the exchange of the knives, both going to note each other's positions and progression towards a texture. Disrespecting the utility. Doesn't care, goes straight through Stinger in hand. Still wants more, not going to get more. Meteor follows up towards QCK, but there's still Tui's, and Tui's is holding on, and he's holding on damn well. No access allowed. Tui's, that's his site.
Gen.G have previously run away with a few rounds like that in this series, but well handled, well maintained here by Loud. A massive gap in mid that's exploited by Texture. He's up short so quickly, all the way into tree. Unfortunately, nobody from Gen.G able to really make too much progress on the other side. I think Sadak slowing things down with the fragment. Able to keep things in check. So maybe a little bit of aggression outside A here. I've seen Cowan Zine set up.
Oh yeah.
Flash of the TP comes through.
Commitment behind this. Garon's above you, both, and he gets both. He waited so long for that as well. Real patient play from him there.
Can't even really say it's a little complacent from Loud. Garon kind of waits out both pieces of utility. Munchkin now looking to reaggress with him. There's still two members of Loud on the other side of this.
And you're surely thinking, no one's going to be sat here, right? Like, you're doing your diligent work here from Munchkin. You know, he's checking, but Gen.G, I mean, the aggression has been there, and they get rewarded for that heads-up work, that diligence in play, and even might catch that mid-lurk. This is lovely. Gen.G reading Loud like a book, prepared perfectly. Scoreline looking much, much more even.
Absolutely, but a full house for Gen.G in terms of the ultimates. There's plenty of options for them now. The other side of things, less obviously one away, Cowan Zine 3 off, but Karen able to turn the tides on this early round aggression, tie things up.
With
this lineup coming through, Gen.G might look for a pacey set piece. Well, Sadak can do the same thing again. It's been too easy for Sadak to slow down some of this aggression previously. Once his Fury invested as well.
Oh, but Munchkin ahead of it, catching Sadak on the back pedal. And I'm looking for the lockdown, it's there as well. That's looking like the site is very comfortably theirs, but I'm looking at the spike though. And
well, Karen's TP'd
away.
onto B, yeah, this is just a fake around the lockdown.
I reckon Tui's can do anything about this.
Tui's just TP'd ahead. Oh, he actually cancelled.
I thought he might commit. I was almost hoping he does, but decides to back away. Won't have much info from that then. His positioning's good to catch Meteor, potentially. No, really tough. And now Less with the spray, pulled away from the dash, but gonna have to fall off from this respect the cross. Spike made it to sight.
Yeah, really strange round here.
Yeah. Oh,
The
and
ultimate's
another
invested, but yeah, QCK now looking to try and find some information. The stun on the back of that info and punished by Less.
Okay.
The value found here.
Munchkin
responds.
And then you got to look at the late positioning coming up from Meteor as well. Good positioning on this. The weird spot that's going to be coming in from Munchkin. This is all, oh my word, Tui's. Backhands him on the way towards the site. Now you look at the backside. This is Caron, the guy who's super clutch, the guy who gets some great work done, and they're doing it right now. Munchkin falls, so now they know where that last player is. Tui's. Can he close the gap? Can he find them? He can, but it doesn't matter. Caron is so sharp with it. Yeah, that round was bizarre, Mike, but it works out.
It's a very well invested fake. Obviously with Karen the one to TP across early. Does confirm obviously Loud's reposition, but I mean again, something goes wrong in the mid round here. Tui's commits to that TP for some reason. Somebody catches off, you know, catches the rotation, sorry, through Link. It feels very, very uneasy. Looks snappy from the other POV. It looked even worse from Karen's.
He's stepping up, he's warming up. We've seen a lot of, texture moments here and there. We've seen a lot of the other players as well having their time, but Karen this map certainly leading the fray. And we're looking at what they've got. Pistols, Stingers, Guardians at most for the Loud side. So a little rough around the edges and hoping to maybe find an advantage where there probably isn't one. At the moment, Tui's is currently holding back 2 players who are looking for the orb there. No chance to really do any damage on it either.
I have the spike.
Gen G just trying to get a good feel of the setup here from Loud. That's obviously semi-committed towards this. A stun off Karanzine, maybe on contact here. Could set things in motion as Gen G are drifting as 5.
This could be quite nice.
Yeah, into this choke point. TP's already sent across as well, so QCK can be here pretty quick. First one there, and the stun does slow things down as well, Lauren.
Fantastic. Isolates one. That gives them a chance. They pull the rotation, 3 players on the side now. Going to be difficult for Gen G to cleanly take this. They've still got a little bit of kit, though, to play with. Not a massive amount, but Munchkin and Larkia's kit is in play, but they've got to be careful approaching the side. Looks like they want to fight towards CT. Zadak's here, though. This is becoming messy. This isn't right. This is going terribly wrong. And Tui's comes out of the flash just behind Munchkin, though. Going to lose his life. And now where do they go? Do they go back towards A? Do they run it down towards B? They're going to go into the unknown, and it's the right choice. Munchkin holds them back. And now the 1v1, this upgrade to round, so QCK going to get himself the Phantom. Karen with the plant, this guy has been good. Leading the board for Gen G.
It's open as well. So plenty of opportunities for Karen to reposition, play a number of different angles and plenty of question marks for QCK.
No kit for QCK either, no additional utility to maybe work with.
And the time probably going to decide this one, Lauren.
Feels like it, doesn't it? Unless it's a fumble from Karen, but it feels like that guy is not making mistakes there. And you're right, the time, you can hear it. Clock's starting to tick faster, and QCK has to at least get this to half. He knows it. His options are very limited. That open plant, he's got it to halfway. That's not bad. Oh, and Karen with a wide swing across, dragging QCK's aim way out of the comfort zone. He's going to get the round. I mean, this guy's worth his weight in gold currently. 11 kills, 4 deaths, and a good couple of rounds that he's been tipping the scales on.
I mean, already what he's done so far in this series, but delivering here in map 3 versus a team like Loud, you can't ask much more of your rookie. Composed in the clutch here once again. And giving it on stage as well. The energy's still there for Gen G. Almost riding the wave here. Loud, I don't want to call this a desperation timeout. It's a 5-3 scoreline, but
they do feel behind the curve. If we're talking about, I guess, round pacing, the way the rounds have gone down, I mean, it's 3-5, sure, but it's been a correction from Gen G. They brought it back from those 3 rounds on the trot that Loud claimed. They've got a good grip on the game. We're seeing the individuals show up here. I'm not seeing Loud determining pace, it feels like. They're a little bit behind on that, which normally I credit quite highly towards Loud. I think they're a very good team at demanding the pace. Either defense or attack, it doesn't really matter. So seeing them a little bit behind the curve here, still want to say a little bit more on that Euro coming into play. See if I like a bit more of it. It's not had masses of time to show.
No, there's been a couple of small pieces we've seen about, obviously, the ultimate, the fault line coming on the back of that. Obviously, that early aggression with QCK finding his way all the way into tiles and pressuring into Gen G's spawn, but certainly have it. Again, we're not really expecting too many switch-ups. Obviously, the Yoru really addresses a lot of the issues on the attack.
Yes.
In terms of getting through choke points, addressing the back line. And
give it an operator.
Yeah.
Well, this is set for his success, right? He is in the place for this if they do continue on this pathing, but there is that question mark middle. That was a very wide peak from Caron to stand
similar to the last round.
Yeah, this time a little earlier in the round than before, but now Meteor with 3 on the platter, going to spot first and slip across. He does have support there in the form of texture. Surely not, especially by finding Munchkin, right? Like this, if anything, plays him in even further, but he's going to play patience, and it's going to pay dividends. He's going to find one, and Lucky claims less. So this battle in middle is somewhat going Gen G's way. QCK tries to re-clear.
Oh, no.
That's heartbreak. But the second bite of the cherry potentially could be the one. This could be it. Could he find him? Oh, the angle is rotten. And Texture just dancing around him. Leaving Tui's just drifting around like there's nowhere to go.
See some of the weirdest rounds of Valorant
I mean,
such a strange exchange.
जीतिया दे राउंड
in
करो
mid
ऑफ
here.
शॉट ना मिस करके
And Lackey are finding that. I can't even remember that. I mean, I think it's the kill onto Les, if I'm not mistaken. That really throw things into disarray. And like here, dashing past, and then Tui's expecting them to commit towards B. Gen.G really starting to feel themselves.
Oh yeah.
And getting a good grasp on some of the chaos in the mid round here.
That's an elusive thing to be able to do. It's a very small list that people have been able to handle. Loud in some of those more chaotic moments as well when they try and get in their faces too, because we saw that aggression from Loud in just a couple of rounds prior, and they were literally pushing them in spawn. So they've weathered that, but now we go again. We look at this. QCK, quite aggressive towards B, but he's going to fall away from this. We can see all the attention is towards A. That knife is very, very important.
Problem being, there are 2 lurks elsewhere, so Les has to consider the possibility. You can see he is trying to get a feel for things elsewhere. Gen.G drift away from this, send it to a catwalk. Texture Caron to try and find something. For the rest of the setup as well. Now tucked into the corner. Oh, come on, committed here as well.
A lot of targets and very little time, but they are damn good at this. Clearing through well. Tui's still going to draw blood, but it's Gen.G sweeping the site perfectly. Luck here on the follow-up, and it's QCK tucked away. Quietly waiting this out, but there's problems here. He was noted on the knife, so what are you meant to do at this point?
They're going to know he's in hell as well.
Yeah, surrounded and hounded. Look at Luck here. That's cruelty. That's what you get for trying to come ahead of the reload. Oh, my word. A little scary there, huh?
Down to 12 HP there. But a 7-3 lead for Gen.G nonetheless. Loud missing everything but the null command committed in the previous. Gen.G, a Hunter's Fury, a Blade Storm, and a TP of their own. Really looking to stretch Loud out in this first half of Ascent.
8-4 round to जीतेगा.
Well, I just can't believe it, but a string of rounds unanswered here.
5. That's huge. And again,
Oh,
look at this combination. This could be really nasty. They have seemed to make it out alive. Caron does find Tui's in the meantime as well.
Oh, he's drifting out short here. Look at where the death marker is.
They can't stop succeeding, it feels like, this team.
QCK, though, look at the ping. They've actually pinged out exactly where QCK's repositioned to. A couple of pings elsewhere, but
I want to see
the awareness is here from Gen.G.
See how well you clear this. Oh, that's how well. A pop flash. He does turn it, so QCK is so quick on that. Can't do much more, though. Finding one is really valuable considering they already noted that position. They already heads up about it. That is wild. Gen.G. Bloody impressive this side.
I think only noting texture there, but maybe a little bit of a red herring. He's noted towards short. Especially with the smoke coming through now. 2 other members of Loud have committed towards this B site hold. TP will come through, will confirm presence on back site. Cow and Zine and Les do here. Rolling Thunder to work with. 2 snake bites as well.
25 seconds.
That's big.
Time. It's running short. Spike is still in the hands of Caron. He's the one to keep him in the back of your mind. If you see that player, look at his position. More stall going to be invested here. They've got to move further ahead. They can't sit back and wait anymore. The plant going to come down. They can't deny it. It looks like they're going to be held at the back of Bow House. They can't escape here. And now it's a firing squad. But Loud onto back. Caron and Meteor in perfect unison. And it's Sadak slowly working forward. Finally gets towards the B site.
The one-way goes up as well.
That's half of the entry points gone, removed. He now knows that Meteor was playing a little bit closer, tucked by the boxes. But so much to clear in so little time. And you can hear it. That spike ticking. His time dwindling. Running low, looking like another 8th for Gen.G here, who are under the gun. The smoke just coming back up. This guy has no hope in it. Gen.G playing an exceptional game here against Loud.
And we could be in a similar situation to what we saw on Breeze, which is just too few rounds to really make this comp change, you know, get limit tested.
Give fair chance. I just don't know if it's enough. Maybe 4?
6 unanswered for Gen G. Caron now 17-5, leading the charge.
What a game from him. What a map from him. Good series. I think Tex should be up there for series. But this map, he has been exceptional.
Get out of my way.
Right place for it too here, though. Quite a lot of
Last
Loud
wave
on the other side on
9-3.
8. And see if they fully commit through this. Gen G tempering the pace a little, allowing Texture to probably get a little bit of work done with this operator.
Slow things down, maybe anticipating the lesser purchase from Loud, equating to some form of aggression across the map, but as smoke comes up, a fragment comes out from Munchkin. And follow up on this paranoia. I was just looking to slow any progress from Gen G.
I mean, the thing is, though, Gen G is so happy to do late executes.
Yeah,
it doesn't even matter. If you're not going to capitalize on it, it feels like, they're still going to be happy to hit on 20 seconds.
TP sent out by QCK as well. So ready to rotate. Gen G have got themselves set towards it, and there's Caron again. Sadak will fall, a first blood will open up round 12 here. So he has to respect this now. We'll still have QCK here, but tricky spots to work from.
Kaunzi maybe. Has he got what it takes? Oh, the flash, the little delay on it as well, bouncing off the wall. He couldn't even turn it in time. Less only good for one, and they're succeeding everywhere. Now it's QCK and Tui's split between the map and hello! Turn around! Texture gets there first, removing QCK, opening up the site for a plant, and Munchkin takes out Tui's. This has been decisive, Mike. Breeze was a different deal, but seeing the scoreline like this...
Look at that timeline.
Look at it. Look at that. What can you say about it? That was a masterclass from Gen G there.
Absolutely is, and we do still have the questions, the composition in the second half, if this is what it's designed for by Loud, but I mean, coming out of that, it's a tall order.
The big question now is 3 rounds enough for us to even have a chance to see what that new Yoru's going to look like, what they could do on this? I'm not sure it is.
We never know, Pansy and Hypok, we never know. But the thing is, in terms of that Yoru and this comp, Mimi, what do you think about what we have seen so far?
I think we saw a few cool rounds, right, where they had these preset plans and they were working well. But I think where Loud got diffed was later into this game when it came down to the fundamentals. This is an example of the good, right, for Loud, where they have this really cool kind of variant of almost a shark attack, where you're crunching into B main and punishing Gen G for it. But then as we got later on, we still saw Loud going for some of these ideas, but making little mistakes, not clearing the corner in pizza, not looking up when they're going for that fight in A main. Gen G players are sitting there, they punish. Gen G, I also thought, did a really good job of slowing down, waiting for this aggression, knowing that this comp lacks information because its only active info is a Kaonek, no Sova drone, no Sova dart, and it lacks information because you have no Sentinel to hold space in the mid-round. They just had to bide their time, pick the right moment in the mid-round, and they were so successful at doing so.
Yeah, but it's still not enough because on the other side, Kakuka, Caron, he's here.
Hear me out. The performance that we're seeing coming out from him, we were talking about all the names that are going to be back in the stage and the new faces that we're seeing. This is the controller that you want to see. We talked about all the rookies, how Narid and the rest of Casey had a brilliant day, but Caron is on a track of his own. 413 ACS just in this first half. And not only that, we're seeing him on stage going crazy, shouting at their opponents. Even at the beginning of the day, he was like, who's Loud? I don't hear anything. They're very quiet for being called Loud.
Yeah, this Gen G team is looking electric. Texture is stepping up as well. They look on course to upset Loud 2-0. What a moment it would be for Gen G.
Yeah, they're on the precipice of a potential upset here. Pansy and Hypok, let's see if they can bring this home.
That's the big question, is it? Can they? Can they actually bring this home? 3 rounds were all that Loud could claim.
Like I said, we're in exactly the same boat as we were on Breeze. Yes. Now we need to see this composition really do numbers for Loud.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Gen G basically have to drop the ball here because they were in total control that first half.
Yeah.
It all starts with the pistol.
I mean, got weirdly close on Breeze, and keep in mind, Gen G didn't even win that second pistol. They turned the next one or something mad. But if we're going to talk, you know, odds and statistics and what you expect to happen, if Loud want a chance, it starts here. This pistol is critical. vital to success. Gen G could hammer in that first nail in this game. Munchkin's about to get a whole lot of info on that. Yep, hello, that's half the team there. Where's the fifth? Doesn't matter, let's focus on the first. Les does find luckier, so that
Fragment doesn't land either.
might be a bit of a problem here, actually, yeah. Kawanzine gonna find Munchkin. Oh, Sanak as well. That's gorgeous. Meteor with a lot on his plate, and he ain't gonna be able to do much about it. That's clear cut from Loud.
Clinical to kick things off here. So you need to see the conversion on the second, but finally a response on that round timeline. Could that be... I was going to say, I don't know how much of Lakia was visible there, but it didn't look like much.
One enemy remaining.
Sadak luckily played in some favorable timing there in that mid lurk.
Round by round.
No investment here from Gen G. Haven't seen it since Icebox.
Yeah, only a couple of sheriffs. I think it's shorty there for Karon, but that's about it. So it needs to be quite the mistake to go astray. And Les isn't particularly, you know, looking like he's trailing in this. He's still got that kind of confidence. He's willing to really brawl out. QCK on the other side, doing rather nicely. And yeah, this is Loud looking almost automated in the way they're working through this. Gen G not really having much of a looking yet on this map, at least. Yeah, done. Go. Get it out of the way. Flawless second here in the second half. Loud now with an opportunity.
Yeah, you'd almost hope. Obviously, the conversion is going to come through from this round 3 as well. Make things as comfortable as possible at the start of this second half. Actually, even getting things together here. Two Vandals, two Bulldogs to work with. Not stacked up ahead of the spawn barrier dropping. Gen G may be toying with the idea of getting aggressive outside B here.
Well, it looks like it, doesn't it? And the flash as well, Les. But Les will fight. Les will always fight. Tui's taking a look towards middle as well. We have seen a lot of attention to market coming out from Gen G too. But there's a lot of pressure points. Meteor's the first one to draw blood, dropping Kawanzine, and he gets a follow-up on QCK as well. He is dominated short now. That's a problem, because that unlocks all of that stress, and it allows Meteor to roam. He might even get a bit more. He's seen so much here. Paranoia, yes, is going to at least slow him down, but he ran it like a book. Tui's going to be punished on that. That was a round and a half from Meteor, and honestly, Loud just falling short.
Absolutely. Let's see, with that round loss, see what the purchase looks like, or at least the funds look like behind this for Loud now. Double digits found for Gen G. Meteor, the stranglehold gifted the third onto Tui's as well. If maybe he thought that Meteor had slipped a little further back onto short, but with the second player in mid. Argue, yeah.
But again, that was the bonus now into the buy. But it was a well-situated bonus, and it wasn't because of the weaponry. So, you know, we wait and see. Texture willing to go walkabouts. It's all a bit of a look. In the meantime, we've got that mid-control. Oh, the timing!
That is ridiculous for Meteor.
Oh. Makes your stomach drop a little. You can see Sadak wants revenge, but the Aldrone's going to check him. They know the position now.
Really solid protocols on display here from Gen G. Meteor might even be played onto the second. It's a stab at it, but doesn't overcommit.
It feels like middle's off the cards. You can't work that anymore. They're 2 heads up about it. So where do they go now, right? You've still got a little bit of room on A, but they don't know about any of this. They don't know about Munchkin's position, who's just about to get his knife back as well. So that's going to be the grand reveal. Unless he actually gets shoulder checked first. Oh, I guess denied. He doesn't get the full picture. Now Texture. Oh, that's clean from Texture. 2 big hits, 2 headshots. Spike dropped and predicts Tui's just as well.
Oh my
Come
God.
on, Texture, get another. Show us what you got.
This guy is absolutely phenomenal.
Map
Map 3 finds Gen G their 11th round. And looking so damn clean in the process. We talked about it being maybe concerning if Gen G have to rely on these individuals, but in rounds like that, it just looks so clean cut.
It does. Really does. Static. Absolutely elated. 11 when you string together 2, it really turns it. 'Cause you know the Loud's money now is going to feel that pinch. It's not going to be in a good position. And they pump the brakes. Loud know it. This game was, you know, recoverable on the half. They did what they had to do. They got that pistol, but the second those rifles came out, Gen G re-emerging.
I mean, really, if you look at bringing this composition out, the fact that QCK is the first to fall in the previous, it takes away some of those options that, you know, Loud maybe did have cooked up. Now they come into the next round 5 of the second half with no ultimates to really fall back on. I mean, yeah, QCK won away, but he's going to have a stinger maybe to make something happen with. But I noticed it in the previous, the defensive protocols here from Gen G, really well drilled. Nobody over-committing. Players delivering in positions they need to. VT or the prior example, Texture here, another. Really caught off guard. I said the map veto the first curveball of the day, some of the compositions along the way, but Gen G have thoroughly impressed me.
Yes.
Loud, unfortunately, falling a little short in my eyes.
And not
but
because
it's not often we say that.
No, exactly. And it's not just solely, you know, oh, we didn't like this comp, we didn't like this. It was genuinely, I think Gen G outplayed them here. Quite hard as well. But as it stands, we come back in with a shoddy buy for Loud. Stinger, Sheriff, and that's about it. The other side.
They pretty much have to make something work in this round.
The one bonus, they do get the ult for QCK online. That was the initial purpose of that play towards A, so that is in pocket. Maybe the Yori will make some difference, maybe not, because Karen's already found less.
Less. Maybe gives away a little bit of the game plan here. The Owl drone definitely will.
Loud's coming to my site, guys.
He does have an Odin. Opportunity to potentially slow things down here, but not noted just yet by QCK. Now he will be. The stun comes through confirming that.
But Meteor with 3! Oh my god, in between a rock and a hard place, Meteor puts himself there. He willingly walks into it. Oh, that's just outstanding from Meteor. Gen G make it to 12, and all of those problems, all those little threats that could have happened get pushed aside, and now it's do or die. Loud have a purchase here. They don't have an instant ult to play with. You got 2 away from Sadak, 2 away from 2. That's not what you really want on Omen anyway. They have nothing to depend on. And on the other side, you've got Knives Texture, lockdown for Meteor, full purchase. Loud, if you got anything, this is the round to show it.
No wiggle room left here. Texture.
Fast mid.
Yeah, very aggressive here, forcing Loud. Well, at least less. Much deeper into spawn. A ton of information, a ton of map control garnered on the back of that. Lockdown available. Like you said, the Killjoy utility littered across A site. But already, Gen G are able to make their way over towards A site. The Loud commit here. Then they are.
Yeah, the lockdown, what's the plan for the lockdown then? Still that util, open plant. Can they get out in time? No, Meteor catching him on the cross. Big punish there. Anyone going to get caught by this too? None detained, but herded away. And look at Meteor, hot on their heels. Larkio with 1 down to count D in less than 2. He's the defuse. It's going on. They can't stop it. Gen G crush Loud in the final map here. Incredible performance. And a lot of us now very much on board the Gen G train.
Wow. I mean, I'll put my hands up. We talked about this matchup at length when it was announced. I wasn't really buying into the Gen G stonks coming into this, especially drawing a first round versus Loud.
I think that's a fair assessment.
But I said it at the top of this series, today will be the day they validate that hype, and I think they've absolutely done that, Lauren.
Yeah.
Looking so good. I mean, Karen and Texture, obviously the headline is here.
Yes.
Karen, by the way, delivering again top of the board on the final map as well. Map 3 versus a team like Loud delivering. It's a real joy to see. And actually, I'm very pleasantly surprise.
Loud
I'm
banget
quite
kayak.
happy to be wrong in this scenario.
Absolutely, because a lot of people were, and again, if you look at it on paper, you can say, oh, but you know, all of us were worried about Loud, you know, the weird comps coming out, they didn't look that great here and there. That wasn't why Gen G won this
No,
game.
it absolutely wasn't.
And that's the best part. You even could argue that Loud draw them into a trap on Breeze. They still come out okay, not ideal, but they weather the storm on Icebox. They best them there, which is wild to me, and then absolutely smash them on Ascent. This team is very, very dangerous, I think, for anyone going forward who's going to face them. Certainly someone to look out for.
Absolutely, and coming back to another point we made throughout this cast as well, probably one of the most preppable teams in terms of the amount of tape here. The entire map pool has been shown throughout kickoff as well, and a couple of bumps along the way. Like I said, some of those series that Gen G had to play regionally weren't a walk in the park, and they didn't look good, to be honest. There were some real struggles throughout those, but coming here now, delivering this performance on the international stage, that's what we're looking for. That was the main question coming into today.
Yeah, and I think for us, it has answered a lot of those earlier worries that we had. And it's just going forward, the depth of the map pool worried me because they play a lot of the maps. Like, okay, well, how diligent are they on these maps? How well can Gen G actually flex this map pool that they run with?
Yeah.
So far, it looks, I mean, you're beating Loud, which is
that's a testament in itself. Yeah, again, you talk about coming to the international stage and delivering versus any team. Loud's up there with one of the teams you want to say, yep, we beat them. Opening series came out 2-1, and it looked pretty comfortable in most parts.
I'm genuinely really impressed with this roster. And again, the win conditions we put out between ourselves was kind of like, okay, is it going to be texture? Is it just going to be like Caramel? But it's everything else. We were talking about protocols and how impressed we were by that. And that's the bit that really stands out to me, is that protocol-wise, they looked very good.
Yeah, they really did. And to have a rookie come up here and deliver those sort of clutch performances, those sort of round victories. Bear in mind, roll your minds back to the last round of Icebox to really start the upset here. Obviously, Breeze being the question mark, but yeah, absolutely blown away. And a huge positive to see them carry this momentum across and open things like this in Madrid.
Yeah, and I think for me, when it comes to, you know, looking at the Swiss stage and how this kind of works out, them getting themselves that one win under the belt is massive for them.
It's a massive sigh of relief.
Huge.
Yeah.
And I kind of going to have to draw parallels to who else gets that 1-0 start. How does it look when they go into those next games at the 1-1 marker? Does Loud look head and shoulders above the other opponents? Does that then put Gen G even higher up potentially? It's always that kind of like, okay, it's still group stage, so just trying to figure out where people fit in. But yeah, in my mind, Gen G looking wonderful.
Yes.
Can't wait to see what they do, and I can't wait to hear from them, so stick around.
Menuda partidaza que acabamos de ver. Estoy aquí con Karen y con Jen. I'm now joined by Karen and Jen, who's going to be translating for us. Karen, what a performance that we're seeing here on stage. At the beginning of the day, you were saying, who's Loud? I wasn't here when they were world champions. Is that the same feeling that you felt on stage?